Last time on Beast World, our delvers depart from Calabil, making their way further along the long walls of the causeway. As the crew get further along the path, there is a gathering happening along the causeway that catches the group's attention. Several Bay soldiers and a Dramphinian standing over a covered corpse of a beast. Ignatius decides to stop and investigate, and learns that the slain beast had attacked the guards and had been killed. He was found carrying a demon core on his person at the time, which the Dramphinian quickly secured. Ignatius calls Aset over to examine the core just to get another look at it, and Aset hears a voice telling her to throw the orb. Aset conveys this information to the group as a precaution, and they carry onward. That night, Aset decides to cast Dream again, sneaking her way into Veronica's sleep. She finds herself at a cozy villa home somewhere in Vigneaux, stirring Veronica from her dreamy slumber. The two bond further as Aset catches Veronica up on her travels. Aset brings up the name Matthias Rhodes to Veronica, whom she believes to be the Grand Feral. Veronica mentions that Matthias was meant to train her, but he died during the initial invasion. Veronica also reveals her innate connection to the Arcana through the casting of a Dancing Lights cantrip. Aset also inquires into something Charlotte brought up to her, that Veronica knew her family, to which Veronica admits she did, but she was a different person back then and isn't surprised Charlotte doesn't recognize her. The next morning, the group debate where they wish to go first. With the village of Middeloo being closer, the party decide that it is worth investigating while they are near. Departing down from the causeway and into the dense jungles of the Batyan, the crew of the Astral Pact venture through the vibrant trees and wildlife leading up to the remote village. There, they encounter locals going about their day, with occasional warriors guarding the way. Ignatius mentions to a local that they are here on the rumors of dungeon activity to cover their investigation. As they move about the village, Ignatius takes note that there are Dramphinians here. Inquiring with them, they don't appear to know of any strange activity going on. Using his divine sense, however, Ignatius quickly learns that all of the villagers, including the Dramphinians and the local warriors, are currently being possessed by fiends. Eventually, the village chief Rashid makes an appearance, revealing that they can see Thaukiel and gloat over their current state, as Thaukiel informs Aski that the fiend possessing the chief is in fact Uthalesh, the Lord of Whispers. Uthalesh calls down the full force of the village on the Delvers, as every beast within range tries to stop the Delvers from escaping. During that time, a bat individual appears and locks Uthalesh in place, using the chief's possessed body against them. Charlotte is able to free a few of the Dramphinians from their possession, and the crew fight for their lives, as they barely manage to escape the village of fiends. And now, you find yourself with your wagons departing from the village at a breakneck speed, with two of the rescued Dramphinians essentially riding off the sides of either wagon. I don't know who's driving at the moment. Probably, I assume, Aspen and Ignatius. Or one of the other.
Probably Priest. Iggy, yeah.
So,
my stage name.
However far you wish to get from the village before stopping. It does not look like you are currently being pursued, but you're also in wagons, so being chased on foot is probably not likely.
I think Louvain sounds good.
Can't disagree, but I think later, perhaps. So the question of the hour is, do we keep running back to... We departed from Lenang, or was it the midpoint?
You were between the intersections of Calabil and Lenang.
Assume just by metric of roads and pathways, our fastest route to Calabiel would be going back to the middle and then taking the wall.
Correct. Though you'll need
Okay.
some time because you did travel a distance to the village, so you likely will not reach the causeway before your draft horses need to rest.
Just while we've got half of the group in the wagon, Aspen's just gonna be like, I want to be clear that I recant my assertion that we could win that fight. I did not realize how much damage that bastard could take.
I appreciate your honesty. Follow-up question. Does anyone think we should make an attempt to double back there? I just want to clear the air. Alright, good. So we are all in agreement. We're heading back to Calabiel to talk to Mother, a very angry mommy lady, whatever her name is.
Not without much more manpower, yes.
At the very least, we need a plan.
Charlotte,
Yeah.
to save us travel time, you have that spell, right?
Oh, divination.
No. The one you can send messages the long distance?
Sending.
That's going to have to wait until tomorrow.
I'd imagine most of your important things can. That's our big issue, but we wouldn't be able to travel too much further without the drafts attacking us anyway, so...
We won't make it to Calabiel in a day anyway.
So rest with watches, and then we travel to the wall, and maybe you can use your spell.
I could. In morning.
Likelihood, if we reach the wall, I'm pretty sure the Dramphinians could get a runner of some sort, or, you know, there's most likely someone who can sending. So we just need to get to the wall first and foremost.
Well, again, unless you want to kill the drafts, we can't really go much further.
Today, I just mean in general. This is a more directional statement. We're gonna have to camp. Miles.
Oh, you cut out a bit there.
How far is it to the wall in miles, give or take?
Let me double check.
There you go.
33 miles? Okay.
Yeah, and you've already traveled, how far? Because you were, like, here. Yeah, you will not get even much further than you currently are right now. Because you go about, like, 46 miles with the draft horses.
Okay, so I'm not the most active person. How difficult would it be for Iggy to fly that distance?
Fly? You have a fly speed of 60, right?
50. I'm fairly certain it's 50, but now that you've said 60, you make me want to double check.
Should be at the very front of your character sheet.
50-foot fly. Yes, 50-foot fly.
Okay, so 10 feet less than the draft horses. You don't really have to worry about terrain, but that is quite a distance to essentially travel on your own. You could potentially get to the wall, but you would have to rest once you get there. If you try to, like, push yourself further or turn around, you will start gaining exhaustion.
And then you'd be alone.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
rest of us out here.
There's also the fact that, yeah, you would be split from the rest of the party.
I'm just broaching the idea. Doesn't have to happen.
I think it shouldn't.
All I needed to hear.
I think our best option is to set up a good watch rotation and spend the night here and then move on.
I call
They
second
don't
watch.
seem to be actively chasing us.
Hey, does our resident fiend experts, 2 or 3 of you, I guess, I don't know what your disciplines on the matter are. How do we? What is this? What's this guy's modus operandi? Is he the kind of person to chase? What can we expect?
I wouldn't put it past them, but I doubt too many. But
I
that's just
also-
me talking, because if I wanted to try and keep my village of possessed people secret, I wouldn't want anybody getting away to tell people about it.
That is true. Another thing, we have 2 paladins with us of Dramphine who were there when all this went down. Could we get a summary of what transpired before we got there?
Yeah, I was gonna say we could like ask some questions.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, you have 2 of the paladins with you at the moment. Both of them look in okayish shape. They're definitely tired from the fighting and the running. But yeah, they're just both essentially hanging off the sides of either wagon at the moment, just kind of like looking between everyone as they're traveling. Do you just address like one of the ones that's closest to?
The taller one. Yes.
The taller one. What if I said they
You're
were
gonna
the
feel
same
awkward when
size?
they're yeah.
Iggy will just arbitrarily pick one based on internal biases and views on paladin standards. I don't know. Just give me one of them.
All right. Well, you speak to one of the lion paladins, and he gives you a very polite nod. Thank you for rescuing me and my companion, though the rest of
Thank you
our
for
paladins are still being held.
So I just heard that in the House of the Dead. Thank you for rescuing me.
Our detachment was sent to the village, and everything seemed to be in order, but we had to be certain. We stayed the night, and that's when the shadows came out and attacked. They were, in a sense, everywhere. But they weren't trying to kill us. They took control of us one at a time.
Right, so it wasn't one big grand fiasco. It was bit by bit.
It started out bit by bit, but once they had a few of us under their control, they just brute forced the rest.
Right. Any specific information you think would be prudent to know? How big of a contingent of Tramphidians were there? I would expect that they'll prove more troublesome as the possessed than the random townsfolk. Is this the silence of checking notes, or did I not come
This is
through?
no, you're fine. I'm counting. Give me 1 second, please.
Okay, just wanted to be
Oh
sure.
God. Counting.
There were 5 of us in total.
Okay. I mean, that's not great. Anyone else of import to know? There was the guy in charge who appeared to have some
Village Chief
spellcasting under his belt.
Rashid.
That fella, yes.
We came to learn he was possessed by whatever prime evil was in charge. We don't know what their motives are, though.
Question for Charlotte. What was the spell that you used to free the paladins? Was it protection from good
Oh.
and evil?
Protection from good, from evil and good. But yes, same thing. That was what I had done.
Cool, I can prepare that instead of compelled duel.
Oh, good.
And if you're able to free the rest of them, we could definitely potentially turn the tides and maybe take the village.
How big of a population was in the village? Are you proposing we turn around right now?
I don't think right now is a good idea. Not after kicking the hornet's nest.
Just wanted to be sure.
Should
Well,
we think about backup before going back in?
I mean, yes, we're gonna run back, tell them about what happened.
I
And
don't
we're probably
think we
gonna
need
get a
to run
dispatch.
back. That's wasting our own time a little. Traveling there, then back, then back out here when we could, again, Charlotte can just get in touch. We just need to stay around here.
So you propose we set a little staging ground here, let them know what happened, and let them come to us, then move in onto the village with us?
Seems smarter than one. A lot of supplies. I mean, we're gonna waste the supplies regardless, waiting. But
It's going to take more time to go back, pick them up, and then head out.
If we have a means to deliver a message, by all means. I know I floated the idea of simply flying there, and then I would rest on the way back, but
That's
doesn't feel like a good
risky.
idea. Yeah,
If you are somehow ambushed, we can't help you.
agreed. So what are our means to communicate with them?
I have a sending spell. I can cast a number of times, but it's going to have to wait till dawn. I could cast it 4 times, but I'd rather try to be as blunt and as immediate as possible.
Village possessed, send help. We are located on the tree to the left.
Well, it would take them probably a couple days to get here, so we might be able to establish a landmark or be able to
We could-
triangulate where we are.
for safety's sake, get back to the causeway. And then we can travel out here when they're setting off. That way, we meet them midway, or hell, we can wait for them. I'd imagine they're going to use the causeway anyway.
So, call for reinforcements. Head to the while we head to the causeway tomorrow, and it'd probably be just a day of waiting before we march out back to the village. Hope you like.
I have no issues with this.
For the better. All right. At dawn.
All right.
Also, I can't believe I've forgotten this. Ignatius naturally has the alarm spell.
Ooh.
Oh?
Yeah, I completely forgot that as part of his oath.
Oh wait, you used that back in Louvain in the
That's
basement.
right, yeah.
I completely forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I completely forgot about that too.
We all did.
Well, we're remembering it now.
Doesn't even consume. That's innate, baby. I just get to place an alarm down.
Yeah, it's a ritual cast spell. What feature gives you that? Is it just the paladin oath?
Yeah, it's the Paladin Oath. Oath of
Nice.
Revolution. I mean, it also gave me gust of wind and sea invisibility, but those haven't really come up. I don't know why I remember this. Either way, we have an alarm for the night, so if some spooky bastard tries to get the jump on us, we'll at least have, like, a heads up.
It does cover a very specific area, so you would have to, like, set where you want it to go.
Oh yeah. 20
hmm.
foot cube.
Yeah, 20-foot cube. Now, if you were inside, like, an established building, you could put it through, like, doorways and such. You could put it on, like, the doors of, like, the wagons, but you would have to kind of, like, set up where you want it to go.
I don't suppose everyone could sleep in one wagon and we just cube it.
You also have to factor in, you also have the 2 paladins as well.
Sleepover?
That's the other
Splitting
thing.
Between, I don't think being trapped in a wagon with everybody.
9 people in one wagon.
That sounds like
Probably a
the
bad
way
idea.
To have people be crushed.
Question: was the bat that helped us get out? Are they still with us?
They disappeared. They,
Oh.
like, straight up, like, vanished.
I just
By
figured
some
if we
kind of
don't talk
magical
about
means.
them for a while, they'll just show back up on their own. Usually as a dramatic entrance of some sort. I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up and they've cooked us breakfast.
Just sat on your chest, staring at you.
Yeah,
Just gotta
exactly.
think about it hard enough before you go to bed.
Sleep paralysis bat.
Also, 3 paladins in a room with Vanya, Set, and the ski just doesn't feel like a good idea.
Oh yeah, they're not in that wagon. That's not happening.
Not in the paladin party.
Camp.
Don't make them sleep in the doghouse.
But it does mean that those of us that need better rest don't have to have a watch.
Also like that you said sleep in the doghouse, and all I can picture is that's the name of Vegas's wagon now.
That's Oregon, yeah.
The doghouse.
It's canon. Get
It's
that
the-
engraved above the door, baby.
It's an unlockable
I mean, that's
skin.
already where he said sleeping, so.
It's like Snoopy's, Snoopy's doghouse that can kind of turn into a plane and shit.
Love it.
Okay. So where were you placing the alarm again?
I don't suppose, like, I don't know, along the road, maybe?
Okay.
If we're...
Yeah, if you want to, like, I guess place it along the trail that you take as you pull the wagons, like, further into, like, the tree lines.
We're not exactly working with a physical space here, all things considered.
Yeah. Because, like, the logic would be if they're following your tracks, they would follow them directly, which would allow them to go directly over the alarm if you set it over the tracks.
That'll be how I do it then.
Yeah, as long as you're within a mile of it, you get the notification, and you can choose whether it is an audible sound or a mental one.
I mean...
We left a fair bit behind us then. For much of
Yeah.
the
An audible alarm, and we set it like 100 yards down the path, so it'll be far enough away that they're not likely to have gone off the trail to get the jump on us.
The sound is only a 60-foot radius, so you'd need to do it mentally, so you'd hear it.
The ping also mentally wakes you up if you're asleep.
Oh, okay. See, I thought the audible... I don't know why, but I...
Yeah, the
weirdest
alarm
thought
has
of
the alarm
audible
has two
alarm.
different features. It has a mental alarm and an audible alarm, and they both act differently. The audible alarm allows everyone to hear, but within a certain radius. The mental alarm allows you to hear up to a mile away, but just you, and has the
I
benefit
gotta
of
be
waking
honest.
you up.
I thought the audible alarm would have been centered on Iggy. So he just started sounding like a warning
Car alarm going
alarm.
off.
His eyes flashing. No, okay, yeah, we'll do the mental alarm then.
All right. So yeah, you find a safe-ish area to pull aside where the jungle trees are dense enough to provide at least cover to conceal the wagons. And you just place the alarm along the path behind you to let you know if anybody happens to be moving through that area. And you take time to essentially just set up a very small camp. Not anything too dramatic, enough to just kind of get some food and get comfort for the night. The two paladins do retire, as they are very tired from, being possessed for who knows how long. They will partake in whatever meal Aspen provides, but will go to sleep rather early.
Okay, so we're not gonna tell them about anything going on with you guys, right?
No.
I figured as much. I just, for posterity.
They don't need to know about that.
Hardly be the worst thing they've learned this week.
I think they're bigger priorities than us.
I mean, you've seen how some of my kind act at times.
Irrational. Yeah.
I was trying to walk around that word, but thanks.
No, I like throwing bricks for these problems. It's easier.
I can't argue with that.
It is nice that it is not me for a change.
With all due respect, yes, if they got their way up in Oria, they would have crashed the entire local economy.
Well, who's taking what watches? I think I'll take a later one.
I'll call second.
I call first.
Alright.
I'll
I am
do
not
third.
particularly fussy, and if one wants me or if there is a slot left.
Charlotte, I think you should rest longer.
All right.
I can still work with 6 hours of sleep, right?
Watch. Yeah, I think I'll watch because it's only supposed to be like an hour or so long. So they.
Yeah, you do shifts, so
Yeah, it's 8 hours of sleep, 4 watches, 2 hours per watch.
Basically last watch then for Vanya.
okay. So what are the watch orders we got here? I got Vanya on last watch.
He said on first, Vegas on second. I don't know who's doing third.
Iggy spoke up, I think.
I'll do it, yeah.
That's nearly the routine.
Okay, so Vanya and Iggy would be third watch then.
Shared watch. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and then I have. Sorry, who is on first and second again?
Me and Vegas, respectively.
Okay, on which ones?
Me second.
Okay, so
Me
Vegas. All right, Set on first, Vegas on second. Does anyone want to tag watches with the Set in Vegas?
I mean, Aspen will volunteer. Take watch for the set.
Okay.
All right.
Might as well have someone with dark vision during one of these watches, so sure, tag
Yay.
teaming with Vegas to make sure that someone can see in the dark.
My best friend.
Yay!
All right. So then, you begin to settle in for the night and prepare your rounds of watches. The jungle itself is still pretty humid, but has cooled down a bit since it begins to darken. The sounds of the forest are pretty constant. You can hear plenty of wildlife in pretty much all directions. It does kind of give you a bit more of a sense to be alarmed, just mostly by the constant noise, even if it is not particularly close to where you are. but a reminder to always keep your eyes open. Can I get perception checks from Aski and Vegas for first watch?
Oh boy.
I thought Aspen and I were doing
Yeah.
first watch.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I thought... Okay.
Scratch that. That's an off-roll. Scratch it.
Okay, so...
Get that nat one out early.
Aset and Aspen was my first watch, then.
Well, at least I still got a 15.
It's tough.
It's dark, it's noisy. Oreo isn't noisy at night.
Okay.
Aspen is potentially cooking over a little fire making snacks.
Distracted.
Yeah.
Okay. 15. Alright. You keep your eyes peeled, just trained out to look through into the darkness. You can't really see that well, but you listen intently, trying to hear anything perceptible, anything that stands out from the background noise. But everything sounds rather calm for the time being.
All right.
Eventually, you and Aspen tag in for Vegas and Aski, so you can get your 8 hours of rest. And I imagine you mentioned that basically nothing of note occurred.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, Vegas and Aski, can you give me perception checks now?
Oh boy, do over, yay!
That's what I like to see.
Scuffed advantage.
That's better.
2 more 15s. Alright. So, Aski and Vegas, you both are on pretty high alert, just staring out into the forest. Aski, you are able to see quite a distance, and can tell that there doesn't appear to be any creatures near you at the time being. And you do continue to hear the sounds of the forest or the jungle, but nothing has gotten this close to where you've been camped so far.
Cool.
Same thing for you, Vegas. You essentially are just hearing the sounds of the jungle.
Sick. Get some
The
wheedling
fun
done.
thing. The fun thing is that if we did hear anything, I've got a one of my like features which I have not had an opportunity to use this entire game, and still not yet. Still waiting on it.
I also have like ears towards danger. I think that's applicable nowhere right now.
What's that one?
Never used. Ears to automatically defend yourself with innate reflexes. Oh, okay. It's advantage on saving throws made to avoid or resist traps or spells casting you while you are in the surprise condition.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Yeah. Anyway, fat chance.
Okay. Aski in Vegas, your watch goes without too much complication, and you tag in for Vanya and Ignatius. Can I get a final set of perception checks?
Hell yeah, you
Vanya's
can.
Gonna do this in facade, so dark vision out to.
Gotcha.
I think it's 60 feet.
That makes sense.
Iggy's gonna do this in normal.
He's going to have facade of the Iggy.
There you go. Nice.
Nice.
18 and
You
19.
perceived things for once.
You have no idea how happy this makes me.
Okay. With a 18 and a 19, Vanya and Ignatius, you take note that the Again, the wildlife seems to be fairly kept to its own. But what does eventually catch your attention is just like the faintest voice, like coming up to your ears. And you hear the voice asking, "Are the Dramphinians asleep?"
Stalkio?
How do I answer that question? Do I
You
count
gotta-
their eyes? The
Gonna
bat?
look. Are they asleep?
They
Let's see them.
they retired pretty early. They essentially made their own little tent off to the side, but within like reach of the wagons.
I guess very quietly. I believe so.
When you say that, you see manifesting about 15 feet away from you, within direct line of sight of you, the same bat individual you saw at the village.
With that, I'll drop facade.
You
Zero
aren't
uses.
exactly like them, gesturing to both Vanya and Ignatius.
I've been getting that a lot.
Why did you come to Mitalu?
A little bit of a lead about stuff going wrong, and well, this guy slightly elbows Biggie. Wanted to have a
Things
look.
just sort of keep happening to me, and I go along with it. So at this point, I could end up on the other side of the continent again, and I wouldn't blink twice.
They kind of like narrow their eyes in your direction specifically, Ignatius.
I've had a very long week, month, year,
Existence.
400 of them, give or take.
I wasn't aware that time could be so unkind to a dragon.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that for like the first 400 years, and then it's sort of all okay. I don't need to complain about this. He will stand up and offer to shake their hand. I am Ignatius. Thank you for your assistance in the town.
They look you over, but they don't shake your hand.
That's fair. Honestly, I don't know what I expected.
Yeah, that was very good of you. Were you? Did we mess anything up? Were you trying to do that more subtly?
I was trying to warn you, but it's very hard to communicate with you through the astral sea.
True.
I didn't want to make myself known, but once you were all in danger, I tried to do something.
So why are you hiding from the Dramphinians?
Kind of looks at you, and then looks to Ignatius, and then back to you.
Ignatius will just
What?
sort of gesture to the bat.
Why aren't you?
Well, because this one is squints slightly, I suppose. A parole officer of sorts.
Is that what we're going with? I mean,
I don't know.
sure.
He watches
I've been a
over
lot of
me.
things lately.
The Mother God in Calaville nearly did horrible things, but I help. That's all that matters.
You are surprisingly understanding Tramphinian.
I can only say I've been getting that a lot so many times.
You have
But-
no idea.
Yeah, I figure I should just get this question out of the way. We are on our way back to the big old wall to let them know what's happening. Do you have some sort of grand plan that would secretly mess with that we don't know about?
you're going to return and request for more Dramphinians, aren't you?
Why do I feel like I'm just feeding Dramphinians into a fiend-shaped grinder right now?
I want to make a joke about that one meme about the dude
You
feeding.
I was going to
dogs.
say, I was literally about to open up Photoshop and fucking do that.
Well, we know what's gonna
Same.
happen in the meme channel for the Discord.
You
If someone
got this
doesn't
one
do it
for
now, I'm
free,
gonna be
alright?
disappointed.
It's like actively being worked on by somebody.
Don't
Okay.
say we never did nothing for you.
Anyway,
Jokes aside, my point is, we have two less accommodating Dramphinians, that's what I'm gonna go with, in our company at the moment. And it'd be a bit weird for us to heel turn and suddenly say, actually, let's return. We don't know about a secret person who could help us. You get where I'm going with this?
I understand, but I feel like bringing more Dramphinians in will only help Uthalesh's goal.
Which is, aside from the usual fiendish behaviors,
Uthalesh needs the Dramphinians so that they can carry the demon cores into the causeway and detonate them.
Oh.
Bad idea. Okay.
Okay, hang on. I'm just drawing conclusions here. Are you implying there are already possessed Dramphinians at work on the causeway?
Not that I'm aware of. The only detachment that arrived to the village looks over towards the tent.
5 of them. Okay. So we have 2 here, and there are 3 Dramphinians unaccounted for in the village. Got it.
Uthalesh was sending out villagers at first, but they were getting caught because of the paladin's ability to sense the cores. But when another Dramphinian is carrying them, after all the trouble they've caused, other Dramphinians wouldn't raise too much of an eye, thinking that it's being brought someplace secure.
Okay, question. This is just something we encountered. We ran into a very shady fellow on the causeway near Fort... Was it Taran? Or was it at Surisport? Either way, we found a guy selling demon cores and saying they were obsidian.
Yeah,
Is that-
that's at the fort.
Does that feel like happenstance?
Probably one of the local villagers. What do they look like?
A rat.
I wasn't there. I'm gonna go with a rat.
Ergen. He's one of the local fishermen.
So
He
is
did
that-
say he got them out of the ocean.
So you're saying we walk back into that hornet's nest of a village?
I think we still send notice, perhaps, but we do not go all the way. We let them know, and before they get there, we try to solve the problem. Does that sound reasonable?
If I am to be honest, I would rather no other Dramphinians get involved.
All you need to
There's-
say.
This ordeal is my fault.
Alright. Me, big fan of you and what you're doing here, aside from that last part, but the other guys won't be so accommodating. Let's double back. How did this whole thing start exactly?
The Dramphinians came to our village a few weeks ago. They were looking to make a staging grounds, with the Blackwild being so close to the village. We were essentially under a martial law, they were controlling everything. They were threatening at one point to have us leave the village for our own safety. Pack up everything we had and depart. I got tired of being pushed around by them. And I called out for help. And someone answered.
Did you knowingly consort with the Fiend in this situation, or were they just sort of taking advantage of the moment, if you'll pardon the language?
A voice whispered to me, asking me if I wanted my village to be free of Dramphinian soldiers. And I told it yes. I didn't know how it was going to go about doing so. I essentially opened the door for Uthalesh to invade.
That doesn't sound intentional, so...
That sucks, but that doesn't sound like you... The fact that you saved us is more than enough credit for us to take you at face value here.
Can I,
You're here to help,
get a
and I am
reading of
glad
the,
to
like,
assist.
body language here?
Yeah, give me an insight.
Oh yeah, Iggy's gonna hit that. He's being polite, but he's still gonna look into it. Nice!
No.
18. With the way the conversation is currently going, they were a little apprehensive at first, because you, Ignatius, specifically would notice that their eyes would focus on you quite heavily. There's a very obvious distrust of Dramphine.
Yeah,
but as this
understandable.
conversation has gone on, you've noticed that they've kind of, like, untensed their body. They're starting to relax a little bit more. And speaking of, here is your bat friend.
Jesus, okay, yeah, the Dramphinians would have fucking struck her down on the spot.
Edge.
Oh.
Goddamn, yeah.
Like, big fan of the vibe they're bringing. That'll get you killed, though.
What did they give us their name? I don't think so, right?
They have not, to my
They have
knowledge.
Vanya is going to kind of hop down so she's not, too far away, and kind of offer her own hand.
There's a little bit of hesitancy, but they do eventually reach out and shake your hand.
Vanya, by the way.
Omega.
Edge.
Interesting name.
Okay, so, Omega, what's gonna happen is we are going to need to figure out how to square you being here with the Dramphinians, myself excluded, being very angry about you. I feel like they're going to be angry about you. Is that a safe assumption?
Very likely. But in all honesty, we could use their help.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to them. I'm sure I can convince them not to kill you, but it's probably for best that you stay on the other side of the camp. Because we kind of already have, Vanya, do you want to explain the whole situation here?
We have a few, like myself here, to put it simply.
The ears just kind of go straight up at this point.
Like, exactly like myself, but some of us are choosing to use unnature to fight unnature, we'll say.
You kind of like watch as they hold out their hand, and you can see like a crackling of fell energy.
Do you happen to know anyone Uh, oh, a tower. Was it a tower? I forget what he said.
I don't know of any towers. I don't go very far from the village. Not normally, anyways.
Okay. Well, let's get you sorted with something.
Yeah, do you need to, like, something to eat? Do you need to sleep? I can't imagine the jungle's been too kind.
No, I don't sleep in the jungle. I sleep in the astral sea.
Right.
So useful.
Yes. God, that sounds nice.
And I carry plenty of food with me. And they kind of like expand one of their wings, and you watch as the folds between where the you can see like the bones that make up the ligaments turns to like an astral kind of like star space. It's kind of hard to describe, but they reach into this space and they essentially just pull out fresh fruit.
Oh, it's like a chowder texture,
Ham space.
like a mask texture. Like it goes further inward than the wing actually is.
It's like a bag of holding, but they are the
Yeah,
bag of
sick.
holding.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I always forget bats could do that. Well, the
Just,
offer still stands. I'm sure a warm meal would still be nice.
Just an onlooking of awe when she does that. Just like,
Hey, Vanya, you think you could fit in there?
I don't want to find out. Also, I don't think it'd be comfortable. Just kind of
Uh,
glancing between the two. See, this is what we have to deal with.
What do you mean? I make one funny remark.
If only it was the only funny remark you've ever tried to make.
Comedy is a very
Damn.
effective coping mechanism, alright?
You must be coping pretty well because you've not done a funny one yet. And she'll wander back to the wagon,
Damn.
sort of motioning to Omega to follow.
Jeez.
Please, I can only check it's an expression of pain so many times.
As you can tell, I am a far more accommodating paladin than most, and you see, I want to strangle her for reasons unrelating to the situation. This is just me wanting to strangle Vanya the person.
He's very friendly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What about the rest of your companions?
I can guarantee you that Set and Niski are gonna love you. Vegas, Charlotte, and Aspen are, well, I mean, they're still in the party, so, you know.
Probably between little interest and indifference to as long as you're helpful and don't get in people's ways, I doubt they'll care too much. Not in the rude sort of way, but in the more...
Ambivalence.
They've got more interesting things to worry about. Kind of vaguely motions back towards the village.
Frankly, it's the two other Dramphinians we need to keep pacified.
Well, I'll find time to rest, and then once your party are all awake and you've talked to the Dramphines, I will reappear and we can talk further.
Okay.
I just assume you'll be able to find us when needed.
You're pretty easy to locate within the Astral Sea.
Yeah, okay, that hurts a little, but you're not wrong.
Why would that... Now you're just confusing.
You know, I look, I didn't. I said it before hearing the Astral Sea part in my head.
The Astral Sea's pretty vast. You have to know how to navigate it. It's not like other people are watching you.
Oh, that's kind of fun in a way. You never really know unless there might be someone looking at you when you least expect it. Just kind of grinning as she's walking away, back over her shoulder at Iggy.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you, Omega. I hope we can accomplish much together. I'm going to go probably look about starting breakfast.
All right. I'll be around. And they'll disappear back into the ethereal realm.
That's so cool.
All right. So, with time passed, everyone can go ahead and benefit from your long rest if you haven't already.
Oh my god.
Yay.
Watching a set get more health back than I actively have is terrifying.
Yeah, I was down to 10.
I saw it pop up and I just went. I was just like, 52 health. That's actually one more health than I have.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, the morning comes. And it is fairly quiet. Save for, obvious jungle noises. Eventually the two Dram Fiends rise from their tent. Essentially taking the morning to do a few prayers and polish up their armor. Trying to get it into tip-top shape. Aspen, what you making?
For breakfast, veggie sausages and eggs.
Sounds good. Alright, so you set up breakfast and share, obviously, with your extra 2 companions.
They, of course, get a little lesson on how these are the best eggs in the beast world. Because they are from Catalina.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Iggy and Vanya. Yeah.
You should probably talk to them yourself.
I think I'm going to explain the whole situation to the party and then approach the Dramphinians. So if shit gets weird, they'll be in the know.
Okay.
But I will go talk to them after that.
Alright. I'm going to find a
Iggy
tree to watch from.
Iggy will go around and make sure everyone is informed of the goings on from last night's watch. How we met the Bat Lady. Their name is Omega. They're very nice, and we're going to be working with them and probably not going back to the wall anytime soon.
I will also...
I keep calling it the wall. I know it's the causeway.
The wall. Also, to clarify, Omega is non-binary.
Got it.
Yippee!
They're awesome.
Where was
So,
I? Right, yes, telling the other people.
We're not going back to the causeway.
We're not going back to the causeway. We should still send information to the causeway, but according to what our associate said, bringing more Dramphinians is probably a bad idea.
Elaborate.
So we're gonna send these 2 on their way.
Okay, so the plot is that big bad demon core evil guy over in the village there wants to get Dramphinians, possess them, give them demon cores, and then have them blow up the causeway.
Oh.
Oh.
So we want the fewest amount of Dramphinians as possible.
Should I try to send them be on standby, or are we on our own?
I'm gonna go talk with the other two Dramphinians and see if we can make sure they don't wig out when we bring Omega on board, because they're probably not gonna like the sights of them. Just putting out feelers here. What do we think is the best approach?
Not gonna lie, I'm out of my depth. What do you think?
I don't know. We obviously need more people on this to like effectively fight this fiend, but at the same time, if bringing more Dramphinies into the situation is just going to make it worse, then I'm out of ideas. We can't take on Uthalesh on our own.
But we can take away some of Uthalesh's control. Iggy and I can.
There's only 3 other Dramphinians in the town, for the record. We hit them with protection from evil and good. We should have. I can use it. I can use it a grand total of 3 times. So, you know, if I have no failures, I can get each of them dispelled, and we'll have more Dramphinians to help us fight that aren't already. We aren't adding more into the mix. You get what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm.
The village warriors are also another threat, but there is also the matter that when I exorcised the paladins, shadows came out.
Yeah, we will have to fight them eventually, I think.
We do.
Do
But-
possessed creatures sleep?
Probably not. Unless they're
Yeah.
pretending, right?
We have people we could ask. I'd imagine they remember stuff.
That is true. Okay, so I need to explain to these 2 guys, my 2 co-workers, my 2 comrades, that we are going to be cooperating with Omega and that they shouldn't be freaked out about their whole thing.
They seemed okay with me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like they didn't.
I feel like it's because they don't know about any of us.
Well,
I
how
think they know
about
they're out of
this?
options.
I can maintain that for a few hours. I could just be there in disguise a bit more, but be there visibly so they can see that you're working with people like that. And then you can explain about Omega, and then we don't have to risk Omega's life.
Okay, so I'm just putting my thoughts in order here. You are proposing we show off that you're not. Okay, alright. You and I, we go over to the 2 Dramphinians, the 2 other ones, and we explain to them that you are like this, and we are going to be working with that, and if they have a problem with that, they can walk back to the causeway.
And the Mother God at Calabil already know about me.
Yes, okay.
So we have a plausible and actually tangible, like follow-upable proof that they know we're on the level. Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna go up to them, we're gonna explain the situation, we'll probably get worse if we bring in reinforcements immediately, so we're going to get info to the causeway, and then we're going to go back in.
And as quietly as we can, get as many fighting bodies capable back into our hands.
How strong were the warriors? Just asking out of character. Were like the village fighters
They were
anything
pretty
to sneeze
tough.
at?
They were pretty
Okay.
tough. I wouldn't say on par with a paladin, but they were definitely strong.
Okay, so I'll probably prioritize the paladins, if not, get some of the fighty types on our side.
Exercise the warriors and potentially the villagers were not a threat, and I would advise everyone, I trust everyone, of course, to be careful.
Locking them out. Easy.
Yes. I do have a spell that fortunately I can target. I can focus on who I choose to hurt with it. So that'll be kept to the shadows.
Right. Okay, that's good. That's good. We can work with that. Anything else we should prepare for before running over to our two comrades, my two comrades, and explaining the situation?
Potentially them saying they want to leave anyway.
We
So-
tell them they are absolutely allowed to take a walk. Would you like to take the lead on this, since it's your deal and I'll
That's
act
fine.
primarily as proof? Okay.
We should probably walk together, obviously, but yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm gonna use my shift weave to change the clothing to the more stealthier look, and then I'm gonna throw a facade on. And follow on with Iggy.
All right. So, you approach up towards the two Dramphinians. They are currently just enjoying the breakfast that has been provided for them. One does look up in your direction as you get closer. Are we about ready to be on our way back to the causeway?
About that, we are working on some plans here. I don't know if we were ever properly introduced last night. I am Ignatius, and this is my fellow Delver, Vanya. We need to speak to you on a few matters before we continue.
It's a very polite wave.
Of course. I am Kavat, and this is my companion Bora. What were you thinking?
So the situation is, we learned that the fiend in the town wants to use paladins that have been possessed to smuggle demon cores onto the causeway to blow things up. To put it bluntly, we are of the belief that throwing more Dramphinians into the mix is probably a bad idea. We should sort this out on our own. We also have someone else who can assist us, and we're going to be sending a message back to the Mother Guard and Calabiel as well. But for now, it should just be the three of us as Dramphinians, the Delving team, and as many other village warriors and Dramphinians as we can release from the possession. But before we continue with that, we feel it's prudent that you know a few things. Vanya?
As you can probably tell, not exactly your usual work partner.
They're both kind of like standing upright at this point.
Please?
I've worked with Dramphinians before. The Mother Guard and Calabiel know who I am, and have passed me on. They didn't try to kill me. Well, they did for a moment, but we got past that.
Persuasion check.
Shit. Ah!
I'm sorry.
If they show any signs of hostility, Ignatius will step between Vanya and the two Dramphinians.
You expect us to believe that you spoke with the Mother Guard under your current condition, and that they let you go?
Well, this can come off. I thought it best to approach you like this.
Can the rest of us hear this, by the way?
I don't think we're on, like, outside of camp. This might just be within earshot, yeah?
Yeah, so their tent is essentially where they're set up at, and this is happening at the moment. It wasn't too far from the wagon, so it would have been close enough
Yeah.
that they would have been ready to, like, defend if something happened.
It was
You are
Nora
my-
Islam, I think I spoke to.
It was.
She tried to figure out if I was a problem or not, in the way that Mother God tends to do. I'll say I think I have a little bit of her respect, maybe? She seemed pretty happy that I took some demon cause to her. So
They're both kind of like, they're standing upright. They don't have their armor on at the moment because they were cleaning it earlier. But they do look like they're like somewhat looking towards their weapons at the moment, but they're also just like not acting on it. They're kind of like more looking at Ignatius at this point.
Yeah, Ignatius would step in. Brethren, I want you to understand. I have come to you. Vanya is my friend. I have fought by her through many battles. She has saved my life. I have saved hers. We are coming to you on even footing with an understanding of trust and camaraderie. Vanya, I would put my life in her arms. And I hope she would do the same for me. I am here to witness that she has done a great many things with her abilities. Frankly, she's a good person. Everything she's done has been for the good.
for a while, Vanya's like posture is just like, yeah, the nodding, and then that last bit she kind of folds a little bit, looking at Iggy like, oh.
Alright, Ignatius, go ahead and give me a persuasion check, but at advantage.
Hell yeah. That's just alt click, right? It doesn't have a pop up.
Yeah.
Skills.
Nice.
25. They look between you both for a moment, and their posture starts to relax. Unusual circumstances, but if we can get back to the village and free both of the rest of our brothers and the villagers, then I guess we will listen to what you have to say. Do you have a plan?
We're working on that. I wanted to make sure that we had an understanding before proceeding. It's a delicate situation, and I did not want to devise anything that could have fallen apart at a moment's notice.
I'm gonna drop facade now and do the shift weave back to normal Vanya.
As it stands, I would like to know as much about the town and the possessed folk as possible. I know you mentioned there were 3 other paladins of Tramphine in the town, alongside goodness knows how many other warriors. We need to get on as even footing as possible before we get into this fight.
The spell that was used to get you out of the possession, can you do it?
Check their stat blocks real quick.
Protection from good and evil, first level spell, I mean...
NPC stat blocks are all
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
No.
Darn.
We have a few spells on hand, but they're more utility. We can dispel magic where needed, or summon a steed if we need to travel distances.
Okay, dispel magic. Just will turn and shout for a ski and a set. I need your advice on some magic things.
Why, I thought you'd never ask.
I'm gonna go back to the rest of the group and rest a little longer.
Iggy will give Vanya a little pat on the back. Okay.
You're right.
Dispel magic. Was that what you 2 said you had, correct?
Yes.
Would that remove a possession?
Oh boy, is that an Arcana check?
Yeah, I would say it would be an Arcana check because you're trying to recall
Alright.
information about the spell.
Rolling without proficiency, yay!
A ski with a 16, you would know that Dispel Magic specifically targets magical effects or magical items in this instance. A possession is something otherworldly. It is completely different. It is a active, ongoing thing that the fiend is actively doing. That connection has to be severed.
Unless it was specifically a spell that was controlling them. Dispel magic isn't going to do much of anything.
And it's not given there's a giant phantasmal ghost spirit thing possessing them. Okay. We can save that information for later. Do possessed people sleep? Do you have any memory of your possession?
We did sleep. Despite the uncomfortableness of the possession, we still had to maintain our bodies, and the fiends kept this up as needed.
Okay, so you needed
but
to
only
eat,
what was
sleep,
needed.
and drink.
If we didn't eat or drink, we would wither away, and they wouldn't have anything to possess.
You never know with this sort of magic. I just want to be sure. To put it plain and simple, did you have a food source? Where did you get fresh water from? We might be able to approach this from a more attritional angle.
There's a spring in the center of the village. That's where a lot of the fresh water comes from.
And did you all sleep in one location?
We were spread out for the most part, it seems. They wanted to cover a wide radius of the village. If one person could be alerted, they could potentially alert another.
I'm just trying to think if we could get in as fast as possible, free as many people as possible, and sort of turn the tide there, or maybe even just cut and run with more people in our possession. Do we know how strong this fiend is, actually? I know we exchanged blows with him for a little, and they were quite resilient.
We didn't make much headway, even having them completely surrounded, no.
Ski, you wouldn't happen to have any knowledge on how, if there's some special prerequisite or spell or action that needs to be done in order to weaken this fellow?
Nothing more than what we already did when our fight against the last Shadow Lord.
I really hate that the best plan appears to be get as many people on our side as possible and dogpile the bastard.
There may well be a source of the influence, if it be possible to get them isolated somehow. Somewhere that they reside, which is at least far enough away that we won't have to fight the entirety of the mob while we are disposing of them.
Okay, could we do fiends have a sense of honor we could frustrate, call them out, say they're a coward, and try and lure
Dalkiel's
them out?
giggling in your head right now, Iski.
Uthalesh is the very embodiment of deceit.
Yeah, okay, I just figured I ought to ask. Anyone else have a plan of some sorts?
admittedly, I have not read much on military tactics.
You do also have Omega, who you need to talk to at some point. Which, I believe they've more or less waiting on you.
Didn't you have
Okay,
a
we're
friend who
gonna-
knows more about this? We should
Yeah,
probably consult
we'll
them
bring in
about
an
this as
expert.
well.
Kavat, Bora, I need you to be cool about a lot of things really quickly. More things. Understand?
They kind of just look between each other and then back over to you. As long as you're not about to summon another fiend. No guarantees.
Iggy will give the most awkward thumbs up and smile of his life before turning towards the jungle and just sort of shouting out, Omega! I don't want to scream, my throat's a little. Is that gonna get their attention? I don't actually know what to expect here.
They materialize right next to you. Yes.
Iggy fucking jumps. He gets a few feet. What the fuck? How? Okay. These are my two comrades, Kavat and Bora. I'm sure you saw how we escaped from the... God, you can just do that?
It's safer to rest in the astral. We had this conversation already.
I know, I just thought it would be walking out of the woods or something. Okay.
I could do that next time. It would be dramatic, but not very purposeful.
I like a little bit of theatrics, but that's me.
Okay. Alright. Do you have any advice on the matter? Kavat and Bora are up to date on the situation. We need to figure out how best to approach this. You know, my heart's still going 1,000,000 miles an hour. Whatever. Talk, please. Explain some things in detail, if you've got them.
Well, I did overhear something about you saying you encountered another Shadow Lord before. How did you deal with them?
We just kind of beat the shit out of it.
They were on their own, so we just kind of threw everything we had at them, and that did the job, honestly.
It wasn't graceful, I'm going to be honest with you. It was just a lot of bludgeoning.
So, the more we can isolate Uthalesh before the big confrontation, the better.
I have an
Would you-
idea. That's
But
not the greatest idea.
is it better than walking in and swinging our sword? Please say yes. Just say yes.
It's kind of like waving their hands slightly side to side. It's kind of like so.
Fuck it, fine. Alright, go. Fire.
What is it? Perhaps we can refine it.
Well, when Uthalesh was brought into the village, they attempted to possess me first, but I was able to fight them off. That's when they went for the chief instead, and once they had a hold of them, they started bringing in shadows to take control of the villagers. If we want to maybe isolate Uthalesh, I could maybe make myself more available.
Okay, so I'm just gonna run down this. You are going to get yourself possessed by Uthalesh?
Possibly. I could try to resist. That could maybe stall them. But I don't know how long I would be able to do that for.
Okay, I'm willing to play in this space for a second here. 2 questions. What's stopping them from just hopping up?
What do you mean?
I mean, if Uthalesh goes into you to possess you, what's stopping them from just leaving? If you are, would we just use it strictly as bait? I was thinking we get them in you and then maybe like bind you or something.
Well, what about that? I mean, so it possesses or tries to possess Omega. Then you cast that spell that you and Charlotte can do, and then it won't be as much as an issue. And then we can just fight it in the open, right?
Is Uthalesh more dangerous? Well, I imagine more dangerous outside of a body.
More dangerous for certain, but also more vulnerable.
It means just having to fight it, rather than having to fight through the chief and then it, I suppose. But that is assuming that Uthalesh is willing to fall for the trap.
They
I
were
mean-
pretty upset about not being able to get a hold of me. I retreated to the Astral Sea, which they cannot reach.
Okay, all right. Hear me out. I'm sorry, I know I just said hear me out and I just got something in my throat. You enter the village, I don't like the way I'm about to say this, but you play the part of a noble idiot. Take me, not the village, blah blah blah. See if you can get him to hop out. We'll wait in the wings. You lure him out of town. We jump him.
I don't know if I'll be able to get them out of the town. I would most likely have to go into the village to get their attention.
Into a more advantageous position for us to fight them, perhaps.
If you're able to sneak into the village, maybe through the tree line, you might be able to find an opening. It would at least give you a head start.
See,
How secure? Oops, sorry about that.
The issue here turns into the fact that when we start all this, what's to just stop the whole village descending on us again?
How fortified was the chief's house?
I mean,
Pretty solid.
it's made of bamboo, but it's sturdy.
Does Uthalesh sleep in there? Fellow Dramphinians, do you recall seeing if Uthalesh took the chief's body to sleep?
I imagine he does, but we were never stationed anywhere where we could see them.
If he sleeps in the big house, I don't know, maybe we rush in, seal the exits, and try and beat the daylights out of him before the rest of the village can break in?
I'm sure having Aspen at the door would slow down the village considerably getting to us.
So, Hell in a cell with a fiend, and we use Omega as bait. And once they're out of the chief, what's to stop them from getting back in? Hoping their own willpower is able to, power through it?
You could also buff and bless them as well.
That is true.
There is also a plan I could do. This is gonna be me talking to the GM because of the components. I have Magic Circle as a ritual spell, but the materials requires holy war, powdered silver, and iron worth at least 100 gold. Would I be able to do that, or should I have had resource for that?
Would you have? Was this a spell that you would have prepared or had prepared?
It's always prepared.
So it's an always prepared
in my
spell.
domain.
Knowing that, would you have gone out of your way to gather materials to be able to use that? Because I know you have the holy water. You have a decent amount of holy water you were making last I checked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we had like 3 or 4 bottles of this stuff.
I mean,
You have 6
Unless-
things of holy water.
6. There you go.
Good
imagine.
lord.
I mean, the value of that, and then we'll have to chisel down silver or something. If-
Holy water is worth 25 gold a piece.
oh my god!
So you would
Sheesh.
just need 4 of those.
So I can do it.
It's holy water or powdered silver and iron
Yeah.
worth of at least 100
Mm.
gold.
Okay.
So you just use holy water.
All right, 4 holy waters. Also,
4 bottles.
a ritual spell. Does that mean it's going to be 10, 15 minutes for casting time?
It'd be 11 minutes because it's 1 minute casting time plus 10 minutes.
All right. This is a suggestion that's highly risky. I can create a magic circle. It would take me 11 minutes. We could potentially use that to help get the chief in to avoid them being possessed again. I know that I could just keep exercising, but I could create a circle that the fiends wouldn't be able to enter by non-magical means.
Well, here's the. How are we gonna? If we're gonna be fighting this inside the chief's, getting it in there is gonna be next to impossible without being seen, right?
Yes, unless we do it in the outskirts and have a
And then
path
have the whole
to it.
town fall on us again. The whole
It's just
the hut means we can have someone or someone's blocking the door, right? I don't know. I'm just not trying to shoot holes in this, but
I know. That's why I said it was risky. It's just an option if it's possible.
are they all possessed, or are some of them just controlled? That's another question.
They're definitely possessed. Some of them with lesser shadows.
Okay, bad.
Well, I mean, that we can assume that it's only the Dramphinians who are only the Dramphinians who have the sort of higher possession alongside with the warriors, perhaps.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
Right, but that's still upwards of what, 40, 50 people.
Do you think you could make this circle around the whole house? What's the size on it?
Oh, the circle? It's 10-foot radius, so 20-foot diameter and 20 feet tall, which I don't know if will matter much, but it would take up a good room.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to set this up in town because breaking into this fellow's house and casting
Alright.
this circle is probably
takes
not going to
11
work
minutes.
under pressure. Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah.
That's if you ritually cast it. If you go through the normal casting time, it's a minute.
Yeah, I know.
Which is
alas.
still a
Ritual.
decent amount of time.
Still on the long side, yeah.
Yeah, but that's 10 rounds of combat.
Okay, so what our best bet is to do this just outside of town, hope no one sees it, and then we lure Uthalesh out, get him in the circle, and fire away.
I mean, we're going to be attacked in numerous fronts, and situating ourselves in the hut would give us some defenses. But we'd be able to bottleneck, as they call it.
I like the idea of fighting in the building, personally.
I like it too. I want us to be in a defensive position. I'm just wondering how we get there.
Vaguely gestures at a set. She has that really powerful spell that can even keep you quiet.
Oh, do you
Okay,
think...
that hurt a little, but that's a good point.
combined with the cover of nightfall.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure that's going to change anything, being that they're possessed by things that I'm assuming can see pretty well in the dark.
Yeah.
But many of them will be asleep, which means less alert
True.
ears waiting for us.
Oh, even better, actually.
Yes, we should strike at night.
So, alright, I'm just gonna run down from the top here. We attack him when he's in the chief's house, asleep, presumably. Charlotte, where do you want this circle to come into play?
It would have to be done with, well, I'm thinking about it. It would have to be done within the house as the best defense. And we could potentially get more people in if we're able to, you and I were supposed to exercise them. There would be we could secure them in there.
Wait, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. We don't have to set up the circle at night.
No?
We find out where he sleeps. If he goes out and about and does some sort of thing in the day, we can get Charlotte snuck in there. You set up the circle. When he goes back in later that night to sleep, we jump him and activate the circle. If that's a possibility, point out any flaws here.
Well, for one, it's 11 minutes. The other, it's 1 hour. I can make it 2 hours. So if we're going to be using it, there's also the fact that the place could be guarded or have some sort of wards on it.
Something else just came to mind.
Shoot.
There was a cave in that town.
There was a cave?
There is a cave. It's where the demon cores are being held.
Okay. Side
we're not
objective.
fighting near that.
We don't need to get them unpossessed if we can just get rid of the demon cores for the time being.
How?
How?
I don't like that idea at all.
That's enough explosives to destroy everything within a few miles. Bad idea?
It would turn the entire town
kill
into a
every-
crater, I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay, bad idea. Strike that one from the list.
I'd rather
Well-
stay away from those.
Throwing a demon core into the cave full of demon cores. This bitch empty.
Yeah, I'm just. I
It
can
will
only
be.
think of Vanya
Explosion
using it like a
stone.
bowling ball down the fucking cave.
You
Why am
exploded.
I the one doing this? What?
You're
It'd be
the. I don't
funny.
know. I was talking, and that was the first name that came out of my mouth. I don't choose how to be funny. It just happens to me by divine providence.
You blow up the cave, you blow up half of the continent, and then the game crashes.
Oh, Foundry just does that. Okay, so don't fuck with the cave. Does Uthalesh have some sense of self-preservation? If we threaten them directly, are they likely to give up the ghost? No pun intended.
Probably doesn't want to be set back. But self-preservation, maybe not, because I guess they just go back to the whole place where they came from. But
They will come back eventually.
all we're doing is kicking them in the teeth.
As this conversation is brought up, a ski, because Thaukio would rather remain hidden at the moment, for very obvious reasons.
Naturally.
You hear them whispering in your head. If Uthalesh feels threatened enough that they might be sent back, not of their volition, it would be harder for them to return. Obviously not impossible. But there's also an opportunity there. If they rush back to the void, we could follow them and kill them for good.
How would we get them to the void?
This is happening to a ski.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, this is purely in
Sorry.
Ski's head.
Interesting.
And so she is just going to grin and say, "That said, assuming that we are able to isolate and, say, scare them enough into a hasty retreat back beyond the veil, there may just be a way to follow them in, defeat them in their original home, dispose of them permanently.
I like that idea.
Okay, how do we get in?
Furthermore, once we are in, how do we get out?
The void is absolute in nature and isn't exactly just a dark room.
Just waiting to see if there's any bright ideas coming whispered into her mind.
If the retreat is hasty enough, a remnant could be left behind, a portal. It would stay open for an amount of time, unclear. It depends on how desperately you cause Uthalesh to flee.
Our odds of success depend entirely on how hopeless they find the situation. The more desperately they tear open the veil again, the longer the portal will remain open for us to use as well.
Being locked in a magic circle, forced out of the body you're possessing, seems like a pretty big oh shit moment.
It would be.
We're still trying the circle idea?
Yes.
I want this to work.
That's gonna
At
be
least-
a lot of timing. We've got to make sure we pull him inside at exactly the right second, right? That's what I'm getting here.
Okay, I need some clarification on how the circle works. Could you make the circle and just, I don't know, have it on hand to activate? Or is it 11 minutes, start to finish, fire?
If I would fire, and then it's 1 to 2 hours.
No, but is it you finish the spell and it's there, or is
Yes.
it you finish the spell and you can turn it on and off whenever you like?
It appears.
So we have exactly 11 minutes to get him inside the circle. Hope he doesn't leave the circle at all during the whole time. And then hope that he's there when it goes off.
So we strike while he's asleep.
Yeah, we put the circle around his bed, and when he gets in the...
quietly can you cast this spell?
It's verbal.
So not very quietly is what I mean.
No. Unless I'm really good at whispering for 11 minutes straight.
I can offer pass without trace to offer some stealth, but
Well, if the bed is like against a wall of the enclosure, you could like stand on the outside of that wall, right? That would count, right?
And loudly chant outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have like a few seconds extra then.
Well, I have to visibly see the place I'm conjuring. I have a 10-foot range,
Right.
so I can look over.
does anyone have a way to deafen him?
You mean silence? Well, I can't. Is that
I
concentration?
do, but it wouldn't last particularly long enough to complete the ritual.
Okay, the ritual itself. How long is the ritual itself? 10 minutes, was it? And 1 minute of
11.
prep?
Or if you choose to use the spell slot, it is 1 minute.
Oh.
Yeah, so ritual
I'd say-
casting. So the way ritual casting works is it's the original casting time, and you add 10 minutes to it if you want to ritual cast it. When you ritually cast it, it does not consume a spell slot. If
I
you
didn't
want
know
to,
that.
yeah, if you want to cast the spell as normal, you use the normal casting time, which consumes the spell slot. So it would be a casting time
Okay.
of a minute.
Oh, that. Actually, sorry, I never
Yeah, I'd
touched
say
ritual.
just eat the spell slot.
I never touch ritual spells, and like I think like, oh, this is something for
Mhm.
non-combat time.
And silence is also a ritual cast spell.
I mean, a minute is still a long time.
It's a long time, but we get into his house, We just post up in the rafters behind his cupboard, under his dining room table, whatever.
So, one sec. Above board here, when you're casting a spell with verbal components, no amount of "I'm doing this quietly" works. You
Yeah, that's
can't
what I was
do
figuring.
a spell quietly unless you're a sorcerer with subtle spell. That's just not
Hi.
how that works. So,
What if you're in a building? Would the people outside hear it?
everyone inside would probably hear you casting it. It's essentially putting a suppressor on a gun is what a ski could probably do. What Charlotte is doing is walking into the room with a shotgun, screaming at the top of her lungs, and firing it into the ceiling. When
I
she
don't
starts
scream
casting that
spells.
spell.
We
But you're still not able to do it stealthily, is what I'm trying
Yes.
to get across.
don't need
here.
to worry about waking him up. What if we just dogpile on him for a minute and make sure no one outside hears it? The spell finishes, and we just expel him from his body. Am I going somewhere with this?
Okay.
I have a
Workable.
suggestion coming
Fire.
from Omega. You looking to a ski. You said you can cast silence, right?
I can cast deafness.
Did somebody have silence?
I do,
Do
but
it for like 6 seconds.
Well, if you can
Um,
cast silence on them, they would not be able to hear.
GM question.
So you could start
Actually-
casting the other spell.
So, just speaking out of character, I have silence. It's a concentration spell.
Mhm.
Casting a spell, another spell, even if it's lengthy, does not affect concentration, I believe. Is that correct?
Until
Yeah,
it's active.
if you've got another is magic circle concentration, or is it?
No, it's
So then
you're-
it wouldn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your concentration only gets broken if you cast and finish casting another concentration spell.
Okay.
So if you cast silence, you concentrate on that, and then you start the casting time for magic circle. You would have to pretty much start the casting time immediately, so there would be about 6 seconds where silence would eventually go out, because it takes an action to cast silence, and then an action to start magic circle.
See, the
Well,
hilarious thing is...
unless I
That's
cast...
one third of combat. I think we can handle that.
I was gonna say, the hilarious thing there is if we know the silence spell goes down by having Vanya stood inside it, I could then sneak attack the sleeping Uthalesh and put the last 6 seconds up, so we have a whole round of silence to start dogpiling him while Charlotte finishes off the cast.
Or I can cast silence and then cast magic circles, a regular spell, so we have a minute of silence and not that very
Yeah.
close to the edge kind of timing.
You just lose the spell slot, so that's on you. That's up to you.
It's a risk I'll take. I'd rather be quick and take the shot than wait and have something like the rug pulled on us.
Yeah, I was say, I was looking at silence. I thought silence was a minute. Silence is 10 minutes. So
Oh, no problem then.
Concentration, it's 10 minutes.
yeah, so you could cast silence and then just start working on magic circle, and when magic circle goes off, then the silence would, well, even then the silence wouldn't drop.
Yeah, I
Another
still have
thing-
9 minutes of silence left.
Yeah,
The other thing, I don't have silence prepared.
Well, you
You'll
can
have
get
to,
another 8 hours because we're going at night, so you don't have to prepare spells at dawn. That was just a thing I did with Listen.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, yeah, going back to long resting. At some point then. More sleep.
Omega just kind of nods. This could work.
Many minds make a simple plan way worse for a moment and then put it back together. I like it.
Aspen just kind of looking around at everyone and then holding their axe a little bit. And I can
Yeah.
walk the door.
Vegas looks up from wheedling
The
and
door?
gives a thumbs up.
Or if push comes to shove, you will jump on top of this motherfucker and pin them down.
You guard the door, and when it's showtime, we all wail on this man, on this fiend until they're gone.
I got Dora, I whale and evil thingy. It's normal day.
Alright. I guess everyone rests. Because I'm gonna go sleep again.
Best plan we have? I don't like it. It feels like it'll work, but I still don't like it.
It works.
Do you have any suggestions? Also, Gao, you're holding your mic open.
Strange. I have no clue why that happened.
Yeah, Discord's kind of shit the bed for my push to talk for some reason.
Yeah, how much did you hear? Not that I was doing anything.
No, you were just doing nothing. It was just open.
Okay, yeah, my gums were flapping then on the icon.
Alright, I guess everyone go and, I don't know, do whatever it is you do before you go and punch something.
Visualizing punching something.
Alright. Well, you basically are just waiting on Charlotte to get enough rest to be able to prepare some new spells.
And
So you have...
nighttime so we can sneak in.
Yeah, basically. So, you've got, like, 8-ish plus hours to kill at this point.
Hey Iggy, time to get some more voice or speech lessons in.
Yeah.
Vanya spends 2 hours staring Iggy in the face and twitching her face at him violently.
Some
Fuck it,
stealth.
stealth training.
Yeah, I could help with that. Can we get skill training in, or is that pushing
Yeah,
it? Look, before we go find
you've
later?
got a nice little encamped enclosure at the moment. So, if you want to do some training, go right ahead.
Yes.
I'd like to.
Oh
But
boy.
you had me rolling athletics, right?
Correct.
That's
Damn, I
another
think
point.
that's a fail, isn't it, by 1 point?
Yeah, DC for a lot of the training is 15.
Money.
Nat 20s counts as 2 successes. So success for Iset, Vanya, and Vegas, and Ignatius.
Let's go.
Stealth folks, don't forget your D4. Next time.
Didn't need
Baby.
it,
Let's see.
because I don't think like adding another force to that would have like pushed it to a nat 20.
Oh no, I'm just
Yeah.
I just in
Uh-huh.
general just try to remember it because
Didn't need it, baby, but also, yeah, I do need to remember it.
especially you.
Yeah, I just like click the stealth check button, and then like if it's below 15, I'll add like a D4, unless it's like not enough to make it regardless.
Yeah, you got a good stealth bonus anyway, so
Yeah, it's a +4 as it is. I think I'm the second stealthiest member in the party.
likely.
That checks out. Rangers usually are, especially with pass without trace.
Expertise pushes me well far and above, but that's only until you get proficiency, and then you're a little closer.
Yeah, I just have a high dex modifier.
And then that +10 from pass without trace, so you know.
When I put it up,
Fair. Rogues are cheating. I've got a +11, and I've had a +11 for a very long time.
What the fuck?
It's
I mean-
expertise, baby.
I have no room to talk with +10 in perception and insight.
Yeah, but say me running Spec, who is a rogue, who had no proficiency in stealth or like sleight of hand. It was basically insight, persuasion, perception, and social skills.
Remember when I
God.
was playing Eliza and I like was not allowed to roll lower than a 20 on stealth because of one of
I
my
can't.
reliable talents?
I can't wait for reliable talent. Everything I have proficiency in cannot roll below 10. I'm so excited.
I'm level 14 on spec and I don't have it yet.
Oh God.
Reliable talent's level 10, isn't it?
Yeah, spec is 9 in rogue
Oh gosh.
because it's
Multiclassing?
multi-class.
Hey, I feel good with my 7 in persuasion.
I like having strength.
Yeah, the reliable talent would make all of my arcana checks a minimum 25.
God damn.
Anyways, this seems like a good time to go on break.
Yeah.
It is.
I'll be right back.
Yay!
Yes.
I need to get some coffee.
I'll be right back
stuff.
as well.
I need
I need
drink.
to sell some shit. I'll be right back.
Oh man, I don't know who's here, but I got a new pair of glasses. I'm still acclimating.
Oof, I hate that feeling. What kind of frames did you get?
I don't know. I just picked the pair that were comfiest.
Hell yeah.
So my mind has mostly gotten used to the new, like, lens quality or whatever, but occasionally
Right.
just go, "Hey, shit ass, everything's 10 feet away now. Deal with it."
Yeah, you get like a little brain zap.
Awa.
Awa.
Awawa. I managed to find something to help with the cough.
What's that?
You're gonna need it
Uh-huh.
for tomorrow.
This is mostly because this is the most I've spoken in maybe nearly a week and a half.
Are you dry or phlegmy?
It's a dry cough, but it agitates my acid reflux.
Uh-oh.
So that kicks up, and then I get an even worse cough because of the acids eating away at my throat. So it's a vicious circle that I have to fight so many. I've got antacids to fight that, but those give like other side effects that aren't great. Then I got my cough, so I have to take cough stuff for that, which upsets my stomach because there's a lot of weird shit in the cough medicines. So it's just like my stomach acids are just like, oh, so you're trying to fight us? Okay.
Are you gonna be good for tomorrow?
I'll be fine. I won't be afterwards, but I'll be fine.
Also, I'm back high.
Letting you all know, for viewers who managed to catch this episode very early,
Yeah.
Jade is running a Beast World campaign every other Friday.
Yeah,
And-
so it's
and-
tomorrow and then 2 weeks after.
And it's in the Beast World server, correct?
Yeah, unless someone says they don't want to be in there. But, you know.
Okay, yeah, hope for the best. 3 p.m. Pacific. I am going to potentially be in the game. Potentially.
So the way I'm gonna do this first session is, regardless of whether Tiki shows up or not, you'll be there.
Okay.
If you're capable and want to.
I do. I do. As long as 5 isn't overwhelming to you.
No. I run a game every Tuesday for 6, so I'm okay. It's just I wanted to keep it somewhat lower, but 5 is fine. Usually it's going to be for 4, but it kind of relies on Tiki being able to be there, so we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gao is gonna be there along with a couple people from the Beast
Yeah,
World server.
I'm in it.
We
I'm-
got Boed and Liam. Well, they go by Liam on the Discord anyway.
Oh my god, the funniest thing happened with Bread like last week.
Boed.
They hopped in my DMs and they're like, "Hey, can I commission an icon from you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Details, please." And then they're like, we went back and forth a few times just so I, was sure that I understood what they wanted. They even gave me a little MS Paint sketch, super helpful, by the way. And then they're like, "Oh wait,
Literally
I
the
don't."
most helpful thing that you could ever do for
So
an
fucking,
artist.
it's so nice. It's so nice. I was so thankful. But yeah, then they're like, "Oh wait, I have to set up my Venmo," and then they haven't spoken to me since.
Fight
Oof.
them. You better beat them up in voice tomorrow. It's
No,
fine.
it's fine. I think they probably just got distracted and forgot. But like, it's funny. This happens all the time.
Seems pretty busy.
Yeah.
Kill them.
I love that the fucking drive-through quality of
God.
the mic right there.
Just absolutely
extra
crunchy.
Bit crushed, yeah.
I was gonna say the bit crushed kill them was kind of peak.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Somebody
Some
clip
should
that.
check that.
To bring.
Jinx.
Clip that. Clip that.
Sever your leg, please, sir. It's the greatest day.
Anyway, I think we're all here.
Another victory for the OGs.
I don't know if Duo's here.
Duo's here.
I am here.
Duo is
Are you
here.
sure?
Hear that.
Called it.
I was finishing food.
What's on the menu?
I just have chicken rice-a-roni right now.
Hell yeah.
Did you bring enough to share with the class?
No.
Why was my immediate flinch reaction to what's on the menu to say me?
I
You're
don't
goddamn
know.
right.
I have no idea who this Deltarune character is because I am an aging old person. But it's giving me ski vibes, and I'm gonna just throw this into our.
Ah,
Oh, I saw that drawing. That's a very cute one.
All I know is it's a character from Deltarune.
Deltarune,
Yeah, bro, we
everybody's
got
Yeah.
robbed of fucking chapter 1 Ralsei. I
so
like
true.
his design so much better in that. So fun
Yeah.
and mysterious.
I
I
have
look
not
like
like
played.
Vivi's
I have not
persona.
played any Undertale or Deltarune game.
They're both very, very good for
I
like
Little,
RPGs, but
little jumpers fighting looking fella.
That character that Jade posted is FF9 VV's persona.
I know.
Convince me otherwise.
Wait,
yeah,
that's
they're
the
good.
white goat, right? They made
Yeah,
it a white
Rousey.
goat instead. That's sad. That design's so much better with the Vivi looking. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and only in chapter 1 Ralsei has the big black mage hat on, and then at the end of chapter 1 he takes it off, and now he just looks like another boss monster.
Nerdy ass goat.
We take what we can get. Also, I don't believe somebody who's been locked in a tower for that long would be like as positive as he is, but that's just me.
there's a lot to that, but need not
I-
get into that.
I
He's
too
like-
have heard of these games.
I'd elaborate,
Yeah.
but that's spoiler.
I'd like him better if he were a
Anyways.
fail kid. That's it.
So, what is everybody but Charlotte doing for the rest of this shared time? Any preparation or any discussions?
The only thing I actively had to discuss was with Charlotte, so I guess that's out the window.
Oops.
I mean, I don't have to sleep. I just have to rest.
Long rest does have to have some sleep in it. Yeah, but not much.
You could just wake me up and talk for a moment.
This is the fucking past dream on Charlotte just to contact her there.
Yeah, she can just go to sleep and you can just cast Dream on them. You have a conversation there.
Good.
Silly.
Just, hey, you up?
Wake up,
Stay
like
Okay,
awake.
down.
I am now, dickhead.
Alright, so
No, I'm not gonna do that.
yeah, if you want to have a conversation with Charlotte, you are more than happy to.
So Charlotte, about that thing you asked about with Veronica.
Oh, right.
That whole line about knowing your mother was admittedly a bit of psychological warfare. The game plan there was to try to scare us off into leaving, which obviously didn't work out. But from what she told me, she did know you when you were much younger.
Okay, DM.
Hmm?
Do I make a history intelligence check to have Charlotte not think, oh yeah, there was a young wolf girl?
So not just confabulate Veronica as she is now.
Yeah, you would just need to make a history check for me.
This is gonna be so funny. Not
Almost in that one.
12's fair.
You don't really recall any memorable wolf kids growing up.
Okay. So yes, I know she went through the ritual of self.
You would have known her as a he at the time, yes.
Yes. I don't know.
Fair enough. She was close with your family, but that's all I really know.
I mean, I didn't get to know many kids as a kid. Veronica or her family were involved in my parents' business, then that's probably how she knows. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up.
Given that she had been close with Treyarch for quite some time, I would imagine with your own father being a trade lord, they would have had business with each other at some point or another.
It's possible my father, knew her mentor or parents and would know more about that.
Mm-hmm.
She just makes a deep sigh.
Either way, I just didn't want to leave you hanging on that. You
No, it
go get your rest now, okay?
no, it helps. It helps. It does. I just wish I could talk to her personally.
Perhaps we could arrange something down the line. She's currently at work at Fort King's Fang. I've really pried into the nature of what she's doing there, but well,
I mean,
it's a labor sentence, so
maybe if we finish business, go to Farsoro and take the transport to King's Fang.
Mhm.
Get a chance to visit. We'll do that when this business is done.
yes.
It'll be a brief trip. We'll just jump back and forth. They'll cost money, but
It'll set us back a bit, but money is no object right now, is it?
I would really want to know more.
Yeah, I have a few things I need to get for myself.
All right, I appreciate the help.
Yeah, you get your rest now, okay?
I will.
He said just smiles and leaves Charlotte to be.
Sleep.
All right. Any other plans or preparations?
Other than me clicking this button real quick. Not for myself.
Okay. With nothing else going through, yes. About 8 hours will pass, at which point Charlotte can rearrange the spells as needed. And darkness slowly begins to fall. It hasn't quite reached nightfall yet, but it is getting there. You do have a little bit of travel time to get back to the village, but it's not super far. Your plan at this point is, how do you want to approach the village?
How quietly can Iggy fly?
How close can Iggy be to a set with Pass Without a Trace?
I mean, I was thinking we pick up a set and bam, got a nice year of silence. And I realize this has quickly turned into that whole fox, grain, and chicken boat puzzle.
Huh?
What about flying makes Iggy's approach better than just walking in with us?
It's a 30-foot radius. Like, I don't think you can really fly through that very easily.
Also,
Yeah, no,
fundamentally
I was
speaking,
just hypothesizing.
the only animal that can fly quietly is like a barn owl.
Like, you're still wearing plate mail. Like, you're not quiet.
I'm just throwing out ideas, okay?
It would be fun. It would be fun.
You would sound like someone flying a kitchen. Let's be real.
Plate armor is not that loud, alright?
Have you
It's
not?
pretty
No,
loud,
It's
no, no, no,
very
no, no.
loud.
No,
Iggy, have you
you're
heard
not-
us?
I am super stealthy. I'm quiet as a church mouse.
Try and sneak up on me right now. You can't.
Metal pipe falling sound.
I've already spotted
a
you.
church mouse that is actively dying, yes.
A church mouse who was carrying my silverware collection.
Or- Yeah. It's the oh god, that one episode of SpongeBob where he's like trying to tiptoe and it makes like car crash noises.
Stop.
Oh, you made me tear up a little bit. Oh, okay.
I'm proud of
Yeah.
myself.
Okay.
It's because I'm so funny and great at video games.
Okay. Fine. I'll walk.
Thank you.
We'll pass without trace. We'll break into his house. We'll make a circle. We'll wait for him to get in, and then we'll just all dogpile on him. Like,
Surprise! We're gonna fight ya.
there's got to be
And then we
places
fuck
to
him up.
hide inside his house, right?
Closet.
A lot of the village interiors are fairly open.
Fuck.
You probably want to wait until they actually rest.
Yeah, we need to go in when everyone's asleep, or at least the most people are asleep.
Yeah, alright. Fair deal.
Unfortunately, that means helping those Dranfinians after we've dealt with the Shadow Lord.
Which I can understand the hesitancy about.
I mean, it's only a hesitancy for those that are prioritizing it. I'd rather get the Shadow Lord killed.
Yeah, fair deal.
Also, may as well get this out of the way.
All right, 1, 2, 3, team.
All right.
Alright. So, once again, how would you like to approach the village? You know where the chief's hut is, but how do you plan to get there?
The
Is
way
this-
Husky came out of this village, is that the... Would we only be able to do that if we could also walk on walls?
Is it traversable from the south?
Or fly.
You could technically fly people over. It would allow you to come around from behind the cliff face, which is likely the least guarded position.
See, that would be good. I could probably hang off of a ski pretty comfortably, and two of us could go through like that.
Okay, let's do it.
And then the rest of you would have to, well, be carried. It'd take a moment, but
Not that I mind.
We have an
Nope.
hour, don't we?
Not to ask a stupid question, but we do have a lot of magical people. There's no way we can just teleport in there. Is there?
The only
Anybody have any
teleportation.
cool new moves?
The only teleportation I have would bring me straight to the Jackal cities, I'm afraid, and that's not going to help us, obviously.
Wait, you can just do that?
Cast banishment on myself, sure.
Oh, okay.
To be
I,
fair,
can,
feel
I suppose
like
I can
things
also
are
bring
going
you back to the
very-
ancestral homeland.
If things are going very badly, that's not a terrible choice.
It would only work on me. You would be out of luck.
one of us would survive.
Ah, better one than none.
Let's do the flying thing.
Okay. To the south, and then we walk up
Yep.
quietly.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. So, you approach the village from the south, following mostly Ski's directions, trying to get as close to this cliffside as possible without being seen. Luckily, it seems like the exterior of the village is not heavily guarded. They have a lot of the focus inside. Most of the guards are near entrances or closer to the tree lines, which makes your job a little bit easier coming from this way. With Ignatius and Omega's help, you can very slowly start flying people around the cliffside, save for a Ski who can just walk.
Hee.
Would Vanya hanging off of a ski be viable, or is Vanya too heavy for a ski?
The ski has 11 strength.
It's not
Probably.
terrible.
I mean, she weighs like
Yeah.
40 odd pounds. She's not heavy.
Yeah, I think I could allow that. I may ask for a strength check from Vanya, though, to hold on.
Would athletics count for that?
I'll allow it.
Picturing a ski just lugging Vanya around like she's a particularly heavy bag of groceries.
I want you to know 12 was the DC. I didn't set it very high, but I also was like, there's gonna be a chance you could just, you splash.
I have expertise in this.
But with that, can I get a round of stealth checks? With your
And you get a plus 10 from me.
Yay.
Oh god, I needed it.
Please.
Natural 19, nice.
Okay.
I rolled a fucking 2. So 23 thanks to a set.
33, baby.
18.
Oh, the rest of y'all definitely needed that. Goddamn.
Why the hell is that on Keith lowest, actually, still?
Heavy armor.
I'm wearing
Right,
medium
yeah.
armor, but like, yeah.
Well, it depends
Once
on
you
the
get medium
armor.
armor,
Certain armors can give you disadvantage, including medium.
Most heavy and most medium armors give you disadvantage
Yeah.
and stuff.
But once
I
I
got
once I pop
breastplates
off
and
with
normal.
medium armor mastery, it won't be an issue.
Okay, so let's look these over. We've got a 23 from Vanya, a 33 from Aset, a 24 from Charlotte, a 27 from Aski, a 14 from Ignatius,
I don't want to talk about it.
an 18 from Vegas, a 16 from Omega. They also rolled not great. And a 28 from Aspen. I'm gonna do some math.
The fact that Aspen rolled higher than me makes me sad.
I'm a sneaky bear.
And that is because I am a very quiet gorilla.
What is that from again?
It's an old joke from like 1897.
Yeah.
Old sounds of
It's-
guerrilla violence.
I mean, it's probably like a modern Tumblr post that is the best gorilla joke of 1900 or whatever.
It's hilarious either way. It definitely, especially first reading, made me laugh way more than it probably should have.
Think about it though, the stealthy bear thing. How many videos have you seen of people like out on their decks or something and not realizing there's a black bear just like right there? Granted, Aspen is a Kodiak, and that is somewhat larger.
Okay, so your average came out to 22.8. So, pretty solid.
Let's call it 23.
Yeah, a rounding
Pretty
will definitely
please.
give you that. Alright. So... let's go ahead and swap back over to the village.
where everything will be fine.
Oh, it's all black for me.
It's probably loading. But it is nighttime, so you probably...
Yeah, you will need to select your token if you're able to, because your token
Yeah.
will have a bit of vision, but it is
Highlight-
dark.
Highlight around.
No, like I can see my vision and where it ends in the darkness, but the map is just not loading for me. I might have to refresh.
I think I can see if I'm not clicked onto Iggy. I think Mocha's giving me vision.
We get vision from Mocha, yeah.
Yeah. Not super worried about that.
The goat is there for your benefit.
Where is...
Meanwhile, a ski seeing probably 90% of this map with the 300 foot of dark vision or whatever shadow sorcerers get.
It's like 60, but don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, wait, that's Twilight Cleric, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's this one.
Oh, I love that Zelda game.
What, Twilight Cleric?
Just kind of
All right.
sounds like one.
So, you have managed to find a steady enough area for everyone to land safely and quietly. You are not very far from the village chief's hut itself. There's a small fenced-off area where some livestock is currently kept, and there is some light sources further ahead.
Question.
Hmm?
Can I sneak up to those light sources and try and muffle them out? Oh, well, that's actually going to probably draw attention more than help. No, no.
Omega will look around. This side of the village is usually not guarded, so this should be a safe entryway. We just need to wait for Rashid to need to rest.
Would you know when that is?
Well, I imagine Uthalesh will be using their form for as long as possible, so they will get tired after so long. But at some point, they will have to return to the hut to sleep. We just need to wait for them. Potentially just catch them coming by.
I would like to do something.
Mhm.
Deck of Oracles. Let's see. Could I, when we were traveling and make our way here, could I have consulted the cards? Because with Deck of Oracles, if I spend 10 minutes consulting the cards for an omen of the coming day, I get to roll a d20, and it's like the divination wizard die.
Oh, that thing? Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, Portent. So,
Yeah, Portent.
all right, I'll roll the 20, and I will log. 12 is, you never know.
It's okay. Yeah, when it comes to Portent and stuff like that, highs and lows are what
Yeah,
you
the
end
middle's
up wanting.
the rough stuff, but who knows? All
Could
right.
still be useful.
Vanya's gonna turn to the group. For those of them that can understand her voiceless speech, she's gonna say in voiceless speech, I could hide on the roof, use the sending stone when he gets inside.
Good thinking.
Iggy understood about like a third of that. He just gives a thumbs up.
The two paladins along with you are just like, we'll follow your lead.
Iggy understands Vanya twitching, roof, rock.
So yeah, Vanya's gonna, in not voice of speech, I'll make my way up there then, and I'll tell you when.
All right.
I'll hop the fence and kind of, yeah, make my way over to the roof.
Just give me one athletics check.
Is there any way I can convince you to let me do this acrobatically somehow?
For jumping, unfortunately, no.
Yeah, okay.
Do a pirouette.
Ah,
Yeah, jumping rules are pretty much strength based.
there we
Solid.
go.
Without
Back at it
issue.
again at Krispy Kreme.
Hell yeah. And yeah, I'm just gonna, I guess, make my way here-ish and just kind of flatten myself to the roof. And just lay there waiting.
All right, let me.
Oh, actually, I want to help with my disguise a bit too. Can I disguise self to make myself look almost like a shadow? Like a shadow, like as in the demon-y thing, not like a like a shadow on the floor or something.
Don't know if it works like that.
It just says you make yourself, including your clothing, armor, look different until the spell ends. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller and can appear heavier or lighter. You must adopt a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs as you. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you. The changes warped by the spell fail to hold up to physical inspection. So if someone like touches me, they'll know. But like I could make myself look, I guess, more imp-like. Just kind of hope that if I am spotted, then they just go, "Oh, it's an imp," whatever. Shrink myself a foot.
I'd say you would be able to at least shrink yourself, but I don't think you would be able to really make yourself look like super shadowy. You could make yourself darker, I guess.
Could I make myself look more like impish then? Like she already looks somewhat impish, but I want to get rid of the beast visuals basically, and just look like a demon.
Yeah, I will allow it.
Okay, bang. Let's disguise self. Drop myself by a foot and look impy. Like the ones in the dungeon we were just in, basically. But still trying to be avoiding being seen.
All right. Give me perception checks
Sure.
from everybody.
Oh boy.
Ooh, I see nothing.
See if I can do better than the shoe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see everything.
I see a reasonable amount.
I want to stop rolling 2s.
Never.
Okay.
I
Put
see
a 0
twos, I
after that
always
too,
roll
damn
twos.
it.
So let's see. It's set Aspen, Charlotte, and Ski. You will all notice that the congregation of people close to you, just slightly further up ahead, are moving away. Moment. They are heading somewhere else.
Alright. Some of them are moving further away. So we have less eyes, hopefully.
Yes, he is going to, using spider walking, just kind of go on the far obscured side of the rocks to just kind of get over to, just behind the house. And that's where she's going to be staking things out.
All right. Let's see. Vanya, with a 17, you notice in a very uncanny manner that several people within the village begin moving at once, as if they are all being given orders or something. You notice that their positions seem to change. Some of them go back to. Some of them are going indoors, possibly to rest, and others are moving into positions that they were previously standing at.
Are they like setting up almost like you'd expect? I don't know, like mascots at like a Disney park or something. Like this, like,
It seems like they're it seems like they're keeping a rotation of people awake, so that if somebody does come to the village, they have able bodies to use.
Oh god. Okay.
Disney mascot was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
like
thinking
they
more
reset
like-
after people pass by a lot of the time, right? So like, it's
And not rotating guards. You know
was-
what?
no,
I
because
like it.
they're pretending to not be all fucked up. So
See, I was reading it more like somebody from tactical view in an RTS moving their units around.
No, I think Jade's got a point. Innocent people being puppeteered around by a giant evil force to in actions.
Evil force pretending to be people.
Quasi.
I'm not gonna physically move all these tokens because I'm not gonna sit here and move 40 tokens.
Because you
around.
don't want
Yeah,
to,
you're gonna go
break your
nuts.
wrist. I
Enemy
understand.
activity.
Yeah, alien activity sound in the distance. More XCOM
Oh.
references. I should play that in. Anyways, so you're just gonna sit up here for the most part and just keep a lookout, correct?
literally making sure that once he's inside the building, and I mean specifically this guy isn't paying that much attention, then I'm gonna tell the rest to move up properly. Yeah,
All right.
Slowly.
All
because
right.
we're gonna want to wait a little while once he goes inside anyway, so he can actually go to sleep. So
So, about an hour passes. And
Well, fuck, I'm guessing I have to cast another pass without trace.
Well, if we start moving.
eventually you do catch sign of torchlight moving this direction.
flatten myself a little bit more.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh fuck. Okay. Oh, okay. No one sees me.
Solid.
Good roll. Yeah, unfortunately, you're outside my range.
And you watch as Rashid walks just straight up to the door and heads inside.
So I'm gonna, over the sending stone, as quietly as I can. He's inside. Give it just a little bit longer, and then we make our move. And I say like maybe 20 minutes, and then we go.
All right. All right. About 20 minutes will pass then. None of the positions of anyone in the village have changed since then.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, just don't fuck your stealth checks up and get inside. Is there a back door?
There is a back door.
Well, there
Oh,
you go.
good. Even better.
I just need it to be known that Aspen has spent this entire time just squatting up on this rock.
All right. Now, Ski, this is information you would have access to from your vantage point, because you can slightly see the path here.
He'll absolutely convey to the party once things start moving that if they just swing over this way, there's a back door which is either unlocked or about to be unlocked.
I was only supposed to hold one door.
That's fine.
No one's going to be coming from this door.
All right. Oh, once the direction is conveyed, you can all start making your way over.
Yeah, basically would have, after that 20 minutes, called everyone over. Rolls off the roof. I'll drop disguise self as I drop as well, so I don't make these paladins fucking shit more bricks than they probably already are.
Ski is trying so very hard right now to resist the urge to jump scare someone as they walk by the little crevice.
Just yelling, "Whoa!"
Alright, breaching clear.
That would sure frighten me.
Let me drop down and pick that lock, yeah.
Okay.
I can't get off the roof though, because there's a wall in the way.
Yeah. Well, you drop down. The door's not locked.
Oh. Then, kind of motioning to the rest, quietly.
Probably expecting us.
All right.
FBI
everything we do, Vegas. Everything. Shut up.
What do you mean?
Shut up. Just starts making her way inside.
All right. Stealth checks from the whole group.
Oh boy. Okay.
I got
That's
this.
because
We all
she's
get a
been
plus 10 at
shouting
least.
At fucking Vegas.
Oh my god.
23 again.
So far, these rolls are fucking dog shit.
Ugh, oh,
Oh,
Oh my god.
You know what this means?
it means we
Finally,
rattle
a halfway decent roll.
It means this entryway definitely has the creaky floorboard.
yeah.
Look, a plus 10. No one rolled under 10, technically.
That's
mm,
a great outlook to have.
I could bump someone up because technically I have a 20, 29. I could bump up
Save
Vegas
it.
by 8. Yeah,
If it's a spell slot, save it.
it's my important. Now let's save it.
That could save somebody with a death saving throw potentially, just as a heads up.
Good.
I mean, if you wanted to use it on my stealth roll, touching my fingers together.
Right.
All right, let's check this.
Anything from Omega?
I rolled the Mega and the Paladins. Two, three,
Great
four,
band
five,
name.
6, 7.
Truly.
Your average comes up to 18.8.
19's there.
Not bad.
Better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
It is higher than their passive perception.
Thanks, fuck.
Let's go.
So, you just very carefully and very quietly enter into the village chief's hut. I do not have an interior portion of this, because I wasn't slightly expecting you guys to go about this route, but it works. So,
Theater of the mind.
get you over the walls. And you see Rashid lying flat on their back within the nearby bed that is basically not quite centered of the room, but is pretty prominent. The space inside the hut is pretty open. You can see like a kitchen area. You can see the bed. You can see possibly other areas where they have just like recreational items, storeroom, stuff like that. It is all very visible from just how open the space is. But Rashid appears to be fast asleep.
So we silence him, and then you do your magic circle.
Aspen's gonna start moving towards the front door to just make sure it stays closed.
Yep.
Charlotte, go.
All right.
I'm just gonna get into position
Going
here.
to. Gonna wait for everyone to get in position because silence does have a range, and some of you are gonna get deafened. Silence. Oh, it's a 20 foot.
She will be like
Oh,
up
no.
in like the top corner by the near the roof, as occupying the role of this guy's new sleep paralysis demon.
Hey, bring the paladins in. They're big, beefy boys. They gotta dogpile this fucker. I want 3 large men on top of this guy.
Christ.
Me too.
I'm switching to my bow instead. I need to keep concentration on this, I think, for a little bit at least.
Gonna let you know, silence is a 40-foot diameter sphere,
Should be 20
I'm gonna-
feet.
20 feet radius. But
So you
yeah,
dropped
Yeah.
it in this corner over here.
that's what I'm thinking. All right,
Yeah, it shouldn't be 40. It's like 20.
4 damage. I'm not gonna math nerd here.
Because when you cast the spell, it gives you the radius, so you can place it.
All right. I'm gonna cast silence on the back right. All right. Okay. Okay.
You just have to
yeah,
make sure that
8
you are not within it.
Yep. I'm just very carefully edging. All right.
Excuse you?
Don't.
Yeah, phrasing.
Hang on, phrasing. Come on.
Sorry to Iggy and Vanya. And then I'm
Alright.
going to cast Magic Circle. Nothing wrong, so you won't be in trouble if anyone's in it. It's just that fiends cannot enter it.
Oh,
And-
fuck.
Oh, okay, I have to relocate it. I'm gonna do it over here then.
I am
Yeah.
technically right now a fiend.
Yeah.
You
so
can
I'm
also
gonna
just
move it-
reposition yourself.
Yep.
True.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna
I'm
do
just
it.
Just
gonna
end at the foot of the bed, yeah.
on the guy like a fucking actual sleep paralysis
Yeah.
demon.
Okay.
Yes, if
Is this
you're-
gonna affect Mocha? Mocha's not a fiend.
No, not
No.
fiend.
Focus
He's
on that.
Yeah, you pick a
Alright.
specific thing for it to affect.
All right, I'm gonna just cast this. Also, the creature's disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. So, and anyone within cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by fiends. So I'm dropping it.
Wait,
1
that's just
minute.
gonna-
I don't need to make a saving throw, do
No.
I?
No,
You do
that's
not.
only if
You're not a
you're
fiend.
trying to teleport.
Okay, I
out of
just
the
wanted to double check.
You're not a fiend.
I just realized what that's doing. It's just gonna kick Uthalesh right out.
Yep. We're exercising and protecting the chief.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be Gmod collision noises.
The power
It's
of
gonna
fantasy
get
tells
bad.
Yeah, so, don't worry about those. So, you begin casting the spell. I assume you use the spell slot to cast it within a minute.
Yes.
Okay. So, after a minute passes, this is what happens. Here are... where's my- Brr. I had a specific thing picked out. Yeah. So, you complete the spell, and you watch as the magic circle takes effect in this area, and it lights up. A sense of you get very like Idris iconography like inscribed through the floor, and you watch as Rashid just kind of like jolts up for a moment and is like pulled slightly forward as a very long, spindly looking shadow emerges straight from them. And you see Uthalesh for the first time.
Ah!
Horrid.
Mine is scarier.
Get his ass!
Rattle him, boys.
Here
So,
we go. Here we go.
pulling up initiative.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. You're a cleric. You're supposed to be last.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Also letting you know, anyone who's in that little circle, you can't be possessed, charmed, or frightened, so you could stick in there and harass them.
I can't go in there.
Yeah, not you, I'm sorry.
I hope.
Oh, does he not
none of-
appear over his body? I was really hoping I'd be able to grab his ass and slap it.
Has to go into an unoccupied space and would not be able
Ah.
to go directly into the circle.
Tragic.
Right, fix Mocha and roll the rest. Wow, Uthalesh is at the bottom of the turn order.
Nice.
Nice.
Bro, was
This is
not
gonna be
expecting this at all,
brutal.
actually.
So,
High fives all around.
He's flabbergasted.
you see this very spindly, shadowy form that seems to be a congealment of multiple shadows together, multiple yellow eyes strung across its body, and you hear in a very feminine voice, "You insolent whelps!"
Hi.
So, Vanya,
Very quietly shiv it in the ribs. Would this be? Would we have gotten a surprise round here or no?
no, because this is immediate ejection, and they are
Gotcha.
completely aware of what's happening at this point.
Stab 21.
That hits.
Dagger damage of 8, and then
Alright.
sneak attack for lightning, as she just kind of sparks this thing straight into whatever looks the squishiest. For 20 total, and an offhand dagger. This doesn't include my bonus, so that's a miss.
Alright.
And then I will maneuver. I can move through the paladins, right?
Yes, friendly units.
They're
Game's
allies.
paused.
That might
Barely.
help.
I'm gonna position like this, just so I'm not in the way.
Alright.
And I'm not gonna use Devil's Due because I don't want to silence my new friends. That's my turn.
That is the other follow-up question. Would you keep silence up, Charlotte?
No, I'm gonna drop it, not to compromise Iggy.
Alright. So, just the magic circle then. Alright, Aspen.
So, he can't enter the magic circle.
No.
Right.
And attempting to attack you from there would be disadvantage.
Can he be moved?
I know what you're
guess-
thinking, and no.
No, okay.
You're like, how
You're
can
not gonna
Force
I?
him to move.
How can I push him through the meat grinder? No.
Jib Uthalesh.
In that
Shove Uthalesh into the magic circle for massive damage.
I think Aspen's gonna brace their back against the door to keep it closed and activate the tattoo, so I can attack from this range.
Clever.
Yeah.
Good
Sick.
thinking.
These poor paladins, by the way, like, they see the little devil mouse, the barbarian starts sprouting, like, shadow arms. Like,
19 hits.
We're all a little spooky here.
I picked
Yeah.
Paladin.
We have managed to extend poor Iggy across the entire Jamfinian order.
Iggy is our liaison.
Oh, why is not letting me attack him?
It may be a range thing.
Yeah, just double checking if I
Yeah.
can. All my attacks get it, or if it's just the first.
no, it's all of them.
For
Yeah,
Elder,
he's
the
doing
Elder's
that.
Call range, yeah, it's all your attacks.
Yeah. Just for purposes of it actually doing the calculations, I'm just gonna move
That's fine.
so it'll let me do it.
11 will miss though.
I got nothing on that. That's me.
All right, Ignatius.
Okay, so is the big chief at my feet? Is he like awake? Is he coming to?
He is definitely conscious at this point.
He's gonna give him a little kick and say, "Get his ass," and then run at him.
I don't think that added the d6 force damage on the attack that hit.
I don't believe it did. So go ahead and roll your d6. Okay, 22 hits. 10 damage. Let me add Aspen's 5. Work. Your next attack.
But foist.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, solid
Nice.
damage.
And I'm just
Uh,
gonna say, just to feel an extra 1d8, yeah.
Yeah, you get an extra d8.
And I do it all again, baby.
$24 hits. Solid.
And you'll never guess what I do next.
Chomp.
Incorrect.
Plus an additional d8. Nice.
Bingo. And now we do the chomp.
Imagine if you could divine smite with a chop.
Ooh,
God, right?
You
Could you
can.
not?
that misses.
It's
No,
a
it's with
natural-
only. It's only
It's
with
a
weapon
natural
attacks.
weapon.
It is
Natural
considered a weapon. So
Oh.
yes.
Okay. Got it.
But it
Noted
does
for
require
next
you to
time.
hit. Yep.
All right. Okay.
Even with the plus one, that's a miss, I imagine.
Uncalled for. Thank you very much. And that is Iggy's turn.
All right. Oh wow, the two paladins get to go back to back. Very fun. All right, let's see. How many attacks do they get? 3.
Three attacks, they got to level of fighter or something.
Just NPC stat blocks.
Mm-hmm. That definitely hits.
Yes.
Solid damage. Next swing. Also hits. Last attack. Miss. The next paladin. So swinging out. I believe that hits. Yep. Next swing. Ah, miss. And a miss. So a decent number of hits in there. It's set.
All right, moving inside the magic circle first and foremost, because that feels useful. Let's see. Do I want extra damage on my hits, or you know what? Yeah. Shooting some arrows. That's a miss.
Yep.
Let's try that again. That's a
That
hit.
will hit.
I'm going to invoke Favorite Foe,
Alright.
which I believe consumes my bonus action, but it's going to be another d6 to my damage deck.
Alright. That will replace your current concentration. Not that you
Mhm.
really need
I don't
stealth
really need
anymore.
Pass Without Trace right now. Wow, minimum damage. I guess that's still 8. But that's it, I think.
There we go. Okay. Alright. Rashid. Rashid, at this point, now that he is awake, looking towards the terrible shadow that has taken control of his body for several weeks now. Let's see. Doesn't have any direct damaging spells. Can't really use that. So yeah, he's just going to make 3 attacks with the sword. Scimitar, to be exact. Two hits. Max damage on that one. 3 hits. And he's basically just shouting, I will free my village of this evil curse at this rate. And Vegas.
Oh yeah. Quick question. He's corporeal, right? Like I can grapple him?
Let me double check the stats.
Yeah, important.
Where's it at? No, they are immune to grapple. Shadows.
Fine. Yeah, no, that's, thought I'd check. It would be funny.
Very difficult to grapple the absence of light.
I don't know, like, I think.
Vegas reaches out and is
grappling-
like, got your nose.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to grapple an eldritch being.
Is that on your bucket list?
Yeah.
Noted.
Thanks, bud.
Alright, make your attacks.
Oh, yeah.
That hits, definitely.
Well, that's a 19. Nice.
Oh,
Damn. That sucks.
so unfortunate.
Minimum damage.
Alright.
Yeah, I can't shadow box this guy.
Not really.
Boo!
Thanks, I'll be here all week.
14 will miss.
Shit. My D4 incessant strike.
Insistent strike. All right.
Yippee.
All right. A ski.
Alrighty. Well, don't think we're going to be getting joined particularly soon, so I think it is in fact safe for me to just sling a happy little chromatic orb, at least first level, just to test the waters.
That
That's
hits.
good. Let's have this be thunder damage since we don't care about being quiet anymore.
All right.
Babe, you
13
just blew the
thunder
roof off.
damage. There you go. Alright.
What was the
Yeah.
damage? It did not stay through on my end.
It,
Oh, there it
shows as
is.
13 on my end.
It didn't scroll down for me for some reason. Okay. Got it.
Heck yeah. So, yeah, we'll just, wail on the bastard until they run away, I suppose.
Charlotte.
All right. Going to move. All right, and going to target the demon and cast Sacred. Just once.
All right. 17. So they
That's
save.
fair. That's totally fair. That is it for me.
All right. Omega.
I know that was a 17. Don't you get a +1 on your from an item you've got at the moment?
It's
Then
already
still
been
saved,
done
but-
in. Have it already added in.
Yeah, the item will automatically buff a lot of stuff like that, but this is to affect this person's saving throw. This is not Charlotte's saving throw.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. I thought I had this spell listed on here. Where'd it go? Must have borked it. Give me one moment. They're missing the tried and true warlock spell, Eldritch Blast.
Blasphemous.
Couldn't
Fix
be
that real
me.
quick. Yeah, because I used it last time, and I think I just forgot that it's not on the default sheet, so... Alright, anyways, they're gonna start Eldritch Blasting. They've got 3 beams. That hits. No, not a strong start. Not getting better. That's a miss.
You
And
cannot
nat one.
avoid annihilation.
I'm trying to see if they have any extra modifiers to their Eldritch Blast. Does not look like it beyond what bonuses they have. Okay.
Omega, no, they won't try to possess you if they think you suck shit.
Alright. With that, it is Uthalesh's turn. Uthalesh looks amongst everyone in the room and lets out a ear-pitchingly deafening scream. And you watch as in the corner of the room a tear begins to open and a swirling mass appears,
That's sick.
and they dart straight for it.
Do we get AOs?
I will allow attacks of opportunity.
Yippee.
That's fine, yeah. The 2 paladins, Vegas, Iggy, the village chief.
Me.
I'm gonna use my blood
Aspen
sword
because
as
threat
well.
range.
make this one hurt.
Let me drop my sneak attack in just a sec.
Yeah,
Oh,
may
I
want
love
to do
when
these a
plan
little
comes together.
slowly, just because
Let me know when I'm
Forge.
good to roll.
28 total damage right there.
As long as you've got it targeted and it calculates it.
Alright, can I roll next?
Aspen, that hits.
Oh, and the D6. I'll remember one day.
Nice.
Remember,
damn
you
it,
plus
nice.
1!
Alright, Bloodshot Greatsword. That misses.
Ah,
Did you roll damage, Iggy?
Nah, I was waiting for everyone else to sort
That's
through.
fair.
Let's just throw all of our dice at Dua and see what happens.
Alright.
Just max level Divine Smite while you're at it.
God, I wish.
Okay. Alright, and you watch as Uthalesh completely vanishes through the portal. It was at this point you hear the stirring of the villagers.
do we follow him?
Now he has nowhere left to hide.
Yeah,
Get
found
him.
your T-1000 sprinting towards the portal right now.
Yeah, are we
Lift your
considered out of
knees!
combat?
Lift your knees!
The two paladins and Rashid says, "We'll keep the villagers from getting closer. Kill that thing."
Good luck, fellas.
We'll try our best.
Alright.
Yippee!
And with that, we are changing scenes.
Aspen's running past, being like, "Hello, Mr. Village Chief. Sorry for hitting you while you're possessed."
Damn near took his arm off.
Right. You all run through this tear in reality, and you feel the similar urge of being pulled forward like you do when you went through the junction, although this one is a bit more twisty. And when you finally come to, you are in an otherworldly dimension.
Oh,
You also
Ooh.
notice a ski. Thalkiel is separated from you.
This is probably expected, considering the circumstances. Not gonna question it. Don't worry about it.
While
is
here,
this
I will
place?
not be able to remain hidden, which means I am vulnerable.
Then stand back and let us do the hunting.
Oh my god, that's... Can everyone else see that?
Yeah, old hat.
Also, given like he says husband's preoccupations, does any of this what she's seeing right now ring familiar at all to her?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it right now. Not even remotely.
Oh, cool.
Alright.
You know, we should have used one of those opportunity attacks to grapple.
Yeah, you can't grapple the thing that cannot be grappled.
Yeah, I confirmed we can't.
is a shadow.
Maybe we just
Seven's
weren't
right.
trying hard enough.
I wish. Unless I specifically have like the gloves of grappling, the incorporeal.
This is the void.
You just need to believe in yourself.
Every day I believe in myself. Anyway,
Let's get up there.
I think even the Cherokee wasn't aware of this place.
we're not in combat, right?
Not yet. But you will be.
Alright, frontliners.
It overwrote the secondary token, so I will just have to fix that manually.
We might be getting a little too
Fine.
close, folks.
I'm comfy here. Between my two best friends.
Hell yeah.
Heads Vegas on the hat.
Yippee.
Yeah, Thalkio will stick with you, Aski. But as you all get closer, you see Uthalesh in their form you've witnessed before, and they are reaching up towards this giant possible portal, swirling dimension of void energy. And you watch, even as they are not facing your direction, several eyes like open up from like the backside of their body, just all over. You have come this far just to die. We'll see how mortals fare in the void. And you'll watch as they are pulled up into the spear. And their true form slowly begins to emerge. I gotta fix the token real quick. Oh, why is it not letting me grab the token?
Make sure you're changing the token on the map, not the token in the actions list.
Yep,
because
that's
it's a different thing.
It's not letting me do that. It's weird. There we go. Okay. Oh, it replaced it name-wise. That's... Okay. Let me grab the token, because I know I made it. Monsters tab. There we go. Oh my gosh. It very much did not want to work in that instance. And I also need to change the art. Where did that go? There it is. Okay. Sorry, when I uploaded the other artwork, it changed everything. Okay, there we go. You see a much larger, very insectoid-like form with a very, very large gaping blue mouth running along its body.
Yeah.
And we will properly start initiative now.
Does this look like it can be
Good.
grappled?
Ooh, 20s.
Yeah, boy.
We're fresh.
Hey, I can't use Invincive Strike off initiative, can I?
Nope, it's
No.
attack rolls.
Damn.
Shit. Bad rolls, gang. For
Omega.
me.
Damn, Thalkio.
Damn, Daniel.
You cannot avoid
Damn,
annihilation.
Valkyrie.
Ain't never heard of home field advantage? God damn, bro.
I'm not
It's
complaining.
fine. This is a
He's-
ski story now.
He's been cooped up in the wall for too long. He's got to stretch first.
At least most of us got decent fucking initiative rolls.
Valkyr's
so
got
did the
This
boss.
is still fourth. Fuck.
Oh, hell.
Alrighty.
Mm,
So now we get to do combat music. Specifically, Uthalesh's combat music.
fun.
And allow me to provide you with a proper visual for the creature you are seeing.
My I just love one.
Yes, the shadow Leviathan.
Grubby.
So cool. Yeah, Subnautica ass.
Why does that make me feel snacky?
Alright. Vanya, top of initiative.
Probably against all fucking reason I'm running in there.
All
And
Alright.
this way and all
I'm
we got to
stepping.
fight was a dragapult?
Burn.
God. That's a 19 on the hit, so the dagger triggers at least.
Yeah.
That's how many d6? 66. And then here's the...
The 66 is a
damage.
con saving throw that they make.
Yeah. On a failed save, they take half, though, so... I'm gonna roll that damage for you.
Alright, let me...
DC
I've got it up.
15.
It is con save. Alright.
Probably saved. Yeah. Well, just.
16.
So 11.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna stab with the offhand dagger too. And that probably misses, as it's only.
That meets.
I don't get the +5 because it's an offhand.
You know, okay. That will miss.
And I'm gonna take my bonus action. That was to stab, so that's it.
Alright. A legendary action.
Uh-oh.
It is going to target you, Vanya, and you are going to hear a maddening amount of voices whispering in your ears. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I failed that.
You are now marked.
Don't like the sound of that.
Alright, Ignatius.
Alright, I'm about to get up in this motherfucker's face. Iggy will, like, fly, just to be right in this motherfucker's snout, face, thing. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but I'm gonna hit it with my sword.
Carapace.
Sure.
That hits. You will take note that the fire property from your sword has no effect.
I could live with that. Because, you know,
Good
who
knowledge
needs
to have.
fire when I can hit him with one of these?
Solid. Plus your extra D8.
That didn't stop spinning. Holy shit.
Just does that sometimes. And another one of these. Okay.
Oops.
Alright, that... yeah, okay, how about we bite him now?
That will also miss.
Yeah, that really takes the wind out of a guy's sails. Yeah, I think that's what I got.
Fuck by the dice.
Alright.
Ooh.
Legendary action. Ignatius, you start hearing a cacophony of laughter. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm just gonna double check real quick what my save bonus is. Yep, that's my charisma mod, which is a +4. That was not a wisdom saving throw, that was just a wisdom ability check. My apologies.
If you don't have
Wisdom.
proficiency in it, it should be the same.
No,
Yeah,
I do have proficiency in it.
Yeah,
I have a +9.
So, yeah, you save.
That's a 20.
You are unaffected by the whispering.
Didn't feel it. Don't care. Didn't ask.
And Charlotte,
Alright. Bonus action. I'm casting a level 4 spiritual weapon. This will increase the damage die by 1 more DA. And 18.
That'll hit.
For 9 force damage. Because it's a bonus
Alright.
action, next action I'm going to cast a level 1 Guiding Bolt. I don't know why it rolled advantage. Or disadvantage.
Neither of those will hit either way.
Yeah, alas. At least I got a hit in, and that's it for me.
Alright. The legendary action will follow up on you. Another cacophony of laughter.
Some save. Ooh, very good.
Nice.
Alright, you save.
Alright.
Alright, Uthalesh. Let's see. Well, they are going to look down at both Vanya and Ignatius. Bothersome gnat. And swinging out with one of their claws, that's a natural 20.
The stars align.
Alright.
Fear their portents.
What's the distance?
That shit, of course, why do I close my window? It's
Probably.
30 feet. It's 30 feet. Wouldn't make it unless I use the portent, but it would not. I'm gonna need you to soak this one, Iggy. I'm sorry.
I can make it work. Hang on.
Oh.
That's a normal hit now, shit ass.
Alright.
Because I get to use Bulwark of Scales.
Is this a reaction, or...?
Yes, I see it. Dragon Magic Bulwark, Dragon Reaction Self.
Yep.
But is casting the spell a reaction is what I need to know.
Yeah, shield.
No,
It's
it is an action. It is not the
Fuck,
shield
I
spell.
mixed up Shield and the Bulwark
You have to
of
cast
Scales.
it. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but it is an action. You have to cast it beforehand. But as a
Damn.
reaction to getting hit by that, it will change it. So again, we'll have to affect next time. I have to reroll the damage because of that. All right, 22 points of slashing damage. I don't remember if you're concentrating on anything.
I'm not. I don't know why.
If you cast a concentration spell, even
It's a
last
Shield of
session-
Faith, yeah.
Even if you like rest, it won't go away unless you make it go away.
Yeah, you have to turn it off, which I went ahead and did for you. All right.
Thank you.
And then you're going to get a second claw attack. It's a natural 2. And then, Vanya, you're going to watch as its tail flings around and launches a stinger in your direction. Oh, that was almost another 20.
We're going to uncanny that.
Uncanny dodge, okay. So you're going to take half this damage. So 20 reduced to 10.
Is
Not
that
great.
poison damage?
Yes, poison damage.
I believe I've got something against this as well.
8 piercing, 12 poison.
Sec. I just need to check. So I am immune to the poison condition and resistant to poison.
So you would take 6 poison, 8 piercing, and then that is halved. So, give me 1 second. Let's see. It's short enough. 6, 4. So you take 4 and then 3, so 7 damage instead.
And then the wisdom saving.
Yes. Let's see. The wisdom saving throw was it 16? It looks like
I didn't actually roll, unless it auto rolled for me.
it
It
must have auto
automatically
rolled if you didn't
And
react
then I
to the
failed.
prompt.
Yeah.
Question. What would be your die if it was to make a 16?
DC was
I get a
17,
plus-
so
I get a +1, so this isn't.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Oof.
okay. Yes, you currently have the charm effect.
Oh, this is bad.
Wait, was that with the wisdom saving throw bonus?
So technically, the
No.
way I was supposed to do this ability is that this is I didn't change the condition on the ability, but it's supposed to be another way for it to apply the mark.
Oh,
Since you already have the mark, it doesn't really matter in this instance.
okay. Oh, okay, so it's not a charm effect? Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to change the text on it.
Okay.
This is a stat
Very well.
block I modified.
I'm terrified of getting charmed with this dagger at the moment. That's all I'm gonna
That would be
say.
very bad.
Okay. Let's see. I gotta fly speed to 60. They'll move in a little closer. Okay. What's that?
Alright, Don't like that. Gonna stay out of the way a bit, but
Hey, Mocha doesn't have to move anymore.
yeah. Alright, I imagine fucking favorite foe still up.
I will allow it, yeah. Because it was just like concentration up to...
Yeah.
I don't know how long it was.
Nice.
That hits.
Low ass damage roll. Also don't know why it's not boasting.
Does they give it? Yeah.
It was a 2.
2 plus what?
Let me check. +6.
Alright, so 9 damage total. Got it.
Yeah. Also, I rolled the d6 just now, and it's not putting it in there either for some reason.
I saw the d6. The d6 came through. It was 1.
Cool.
Your damage rolls would be.
Either way, we're gonna do that again. Hello, Foundry?
Do you need to relog?
Let me just refresh the page real quick.
It had it earlier where I had logged out and I logged back in. I pulled up Foundry. This is like 5 minutes before the game started, and it logged me back out again.
Does it
Yeah, no, I seem to be logged in on the site at least.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still logged in there.
I'm getting
Probably
back in
stability
now.
issues. I'll check Forge Discord in the meantime.
Okay, let me try that again.
Alright. And you're targeting Uthalesh, right?
Yeah.
On my end, it didn't show the target, so 25 will
Yeah,
hit.
but I had to like click it again first. 25 that hits. Okay. Really?
And then the d6 from your mark.
That's better at least. Mocha. Withering Ram.
Alright.
if I can stun the fucker.
21 hits.
And little Uthalesh has to do a Constitution saving throw.
Strength of- One saving throw. What is that DC?
I am not sure. I think it may be my spellcasting DC, but which would be a 15.
Okay. I said it's a strength or con save. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, 23.
Oh well. It's damage at least. That's my turn.
Alright. Legendary action, since it refreshed. Targeting is set as you hear a babbling of whispers. Wisdom saving throw.
Oof.
You are now marked.
Cool.
What this is.
Aspen.
Take that deep breath in and breath out and drop into that focused rage. And
Is your tattoo still active?
should be, yeah.
Yep, your tattoo should still be active.
Yep, okay. And attack. Adding my con modifier to that.
The first attack.
Yeah, that's plus 4.
That'll
so
hit.
18. And the D6.
Alright.
And the second one.
That hits. And 14 more damage. Six. Alright.
It's me.
The ski.
Oh boy. Well. Let's just start off nice and simple. Let's get some guaranteed damage onto this bastard. Nothing fancy. It's just 6 casts of the Wand of Magic Missiles.
Machine gun rapid fire that shit, baby. That's what we like to see.
Which is to say, Magic Missile upcast 5 times. So it goes from
7 missiles then.
3, yeah. No, it goes from 3 darts to 8, right?
One dot
Upcast
every
5
level.
times.
Yeah, 1 dot. You said
Yeah,
fifth level, right?
Well, 6 charges, so Magic Missile upcast
One charge
6
is 3.
times, or upcast 5 times. Yeah, so that would be 6th level.
Okay, so 6th level.
Magic Missile.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah, 8.
Cool. So that's a 8d4 plus 8.
Solid.
For 30 force
Nice.
damage.
Alright.
And... no, that that would be a very bad decision if I did that right now, so I think I'm just going to reposition so it doesn't have a clear shot on Valkiel, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright, legendary action.
Hi.
Yeah. Another Whispering Mark.
Not for
Succeed.
me.
Alright, looks like that is Omega's turn now. And you're going to slightly move to the side. Where are your big spells? Here we go. Okay. Alright, it's Omega is going to cast Conjure Elemental.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fire Elemental is not a good choice there, so we're going to go with that. There we go. Earth Elemental. Ba-ba-ba. Friendly to you and companion, roll initiative for the elemental, which is at its own turns. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate on that. Okay. Oh, this is a casting time of a minute. Never mind. Can't do that.
Yeah, that would have been a before the battle thing.
Yep. Okay, what doesn't have a casting time of a minute? Summoning a greater demon.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That might be problematic.
Fiend on fiend
Well,
violence.
I think it's great that the paladins are waiting outside.
Yeah, very fortunate.
We're gonna pull out Bulgura.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Monkey.
Pilot
Oh my
initiative.
god. Nice.
I can't believe Omega actually cast Ketamine Ape.
What the fuck?
Alright. And they are concentrating on that. Vegas.
So I don't think I heard. This guy's grappleable now, right?
Yes, technically, but also, legendary action. Targeting you specifically.
Oh, really? I'm charmed.
I don't know why it went on them. Okay, well, I guess I had them targeted. Make me a wisdom save.
Okay.
DC is 15. Alright, you are now marked.
Could I use my inspiration on that?
You can. Reroll it.
Looks like it might be hard, yeah. Use that. Please, please, please. It's been so many years since I broke an
Aww.
14 still fails.
Yeah, well, you know what?
We don't know what the market does yet. It's
It's
fine.
like-
That's what I'm scared about.
Well, good to know it's
Don't worry about it
grappleable.
just yet.
I don't like that.
Okay, so, like, so okay. I can still attack it?
It's your turn.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Okay. I approach. I'm gonna go over to this side. What size category is it?
It is gargantuan. It's a
Is that
massive creature.
You won't
That's
be able
one
to grab
above.
both.
But what if I were one size class larger? Would I be able to then, or is it still too large?
Large, huge, gargantuan.
Yeah, it's too big.
Okay, figures.
You can squeeze between its legs. Whatever his acid passes for those.
It's 20 legs.
Anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna pop my potion of Cloud Giant Strength. And that automatically modifies my swings, right?
No, you have to change your strength.
Yeah, you are gonna want to target yourself with that because it gave the potion
Oh,
to
shit.
them.
Fuck.
I don't
no,
think you
not
want
what
them
I
to have a 27 in strength.
No,
Oh,
I
God.
super don't. Sorry, I forgot I still had them targeted from like between turns. Let me go ahead and tap myself with that again.
I'm gonna go ahead and disable that effect on Uthalesh. Yeah, it should give you
Okay,
the
now my strength
effect.
is 27,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Gross.
Because I looked at their strength and I was like, their strength score is not that high.
Here, buddy, catch, and I just toss it in its mouth.
Just going the random bullshit go technique.
This fight's not hard.
You're targeting yourself, remember?
Shit. Sorry.
25 will hit.
Yeah. If I target it with damage roll, it'll do damage to
He'll
it,
yell
right?
at you.
Just roll the
Yeah.
damage and I'll undo it from you. Solid.
Nice!
Nice.
Nice is right.
Asking for a friend, why is there a monkey?
That's the Balgura.
Omega
Cast
summoned
Ketamine
him.
Ape.
Omega
The
summoned that.
ketamine
Yeah.
ape.
Yes.
Cool, alright, I went to the bathroom and I came back for the ketamine ape. Just wanted to be sure that was what was happening.
Yes, Omega cast ketamine ape.
It's a friendly ketamine ape, at least. So don't worry.
Is that the quiet monkey thing you all were talking about earlier?
Yes.
Technically,
That ape.
the joke has come full circle. 27 hits.
Very good. I'm also gonna dump my bloodshed HP into it.
Okay. How many hit dice are you spending?
How many oh, I have plenty.
You should have
Say
that.
you have all of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna sink all of them.
Oh,
My God!
It's
Why
not like we need to take a short rest after
For
this.
the
This
bit,
is the boss
for the
fight.
bit, I will sink all of them. So
Holy
how many
shit.
died? Wait,
I guess.
10. It's your level in D10.
holy shit. 70 10.
Vegas?
Go ahead, roll it.
Let's fucking go.
Oh
Holy
my god, that
shit.
damage roll.
Oh god. That felt really good.
All right.
Fuck yes.
Better than sex.
So
The boss is looking injured.
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
How
Oh,
cute.
yeah. I'm gonna ride that one out for a little bit.
All right. Let's see.
When the crit gives you afterglow.
So true.
Look, all I'm saying is, if I get a fucking nat 20.
All right, they're gonna try to cast Shadow Bolts. I don't know why it rolled at disadvantage.
Let's go over.
It's got 120 feet range, so should not be out of range. But that hits.
That would be valuable.
Maybe I just hit a button wrong. 14 cold damage, which is halved because of resistance. And they're just gonna you know, kind of scooch a little bit into cover.
We stamped out PL in this household.
Top
I
of the
mean,
round, Vanya.
Absolutely fair.
Speak for yourself.
I'm steady
We don't-
aiming.
Do we not want to call it top round?
I know. I'm aware. We got 60 seconds. I'm gonna get through this round. Well, not this round, but this turn. That hits.
Alright, damage. I'm re-rolling that d4. It's too high, so 9. And then
Alright.
the lightning. That's it, 27.
Alright. Well, we'll have to see how the fight between Uthalesh, the Lord of Whispers, and the Astral Pact goes next time.
I don't like that I have to wait a week to see whatever the mark is. I'm so scared.
I
The
bet
fact
we'll
we beat the
finish him off
shit out
before
of
he even gets it out.
We beat the shit out of him so hard in one round. This is good.
We
You
already
also-
got him injured in like one turn, yes.
I'd also like to point out you guys did 300 damage to him before the fight actually started.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a bit of help.
Also, injured.
I like
isn't-
going Nova.
Injured isn't bloodied, guys.
Injured is 75%.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
fine.
let's keep
Bloodied
that
is
in mind.
50%. Critical is
Phase 2 is when
25.
we get to bloodied.
We're gonna be here for a while.
Anyway,
That's fine.
I'm gonna finish.
Alright, nighty night, everybody. Bye bye.
See y'all around.
Hugs and
Try not to
kisses.
die.
Take care of yourselves.
Bye, bitch.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Alright.